Morning, morning, morning. What's up, SF? Jonathan, Steve, Zaytoven, Sonia, Sandollar, Victoria. Good morning to each and every one of you. As you can see, there is a large amount of reading to do on the scratch pad today. And I'll go ahead and do this. Let me open this a little bit more. There we go. So take your time reading that because it comes from bigger and smaller time frame. Here's the bigger time frame chart. So it says, we'll skip that. I'll come back to the smaller time frame for that. Key area to watch this week is 378 to 380, 380.50 range. Let me bolden that. Let me highlight it too. So 378. This is from just this resistance here, and I've had this marked for a very long time. It's one of the few smaller time frame levels I have marked. And then we have a bigger time frame level from the very far left on the monthly time frame, an emerging candle. It also ends up lining up with the kind of not start of the gap because the start of it's actually way down here. But if you want to consider that a gap, then you have your 378 to 380.50 right there. So that's kind of our last line of like defense is what you can think about when you look at this. So basically, in short, if we lose this, we're definitely going to fall a lot more, and it's going to be a little bit more fearful. People are going to be a little more worried because we're going to be selling off for a fifth day in a row if that happens today. So that'll be one thing to look out for. Second is it doesn't have to break, so we can also watch for bounces. But this doesn't also mean that we have to look for huge, gigantic moves off of this support. Like, it doesn't mean like it has to send it up to the moon from this support. So we're going to be watching for basically either a drop under 378, 380.50 range, or a bounce off of this area going into the next few days. So this will be a very key area, probably most of this week. So we'll be paying attention to this. So if we do lose this support, there is 374, 375 area, 370, 368, 365, 362, and then a bounce can bring us back to 385, and then also the range in which we just fell from, 388 to 390, as well as the shorter, tinier little range that we fell from at about 393, 394-ish area. So we'll be looking for both of these scenarios to pan out this week. A third scenario, which is not as popular and I think a lot of us would love to avoid, but also probably needed, is a more sideways week. So you could also expect a week where we kind of dip below, we push above, and then we just kind of sit in between here for a couple days. So that's the third, a little bit more boring scenario that could happen. But you can see a huge past resistance that was used as support before the last leg up to 410s. A bounce from this area can bring prices back towards 385, 390.50, and like everything I just explained basically is laid out in here. Now, the rest of the info, go to the day trading chart, or the 5-minute. I said watching outside of the 386.60s and 383.20s for scalps on the smaller time frame. So we can look outside, and you could look outside of pre-market high into the previous day highs, but I'm basically marking this as like our break above, this 386.50, 386 area. So this is kind of what we need to look for above. For below, we can look here for shorts, but we also need to kind of watch the previous day close, which I didn't mark. Oh, okay, never mind, it lines up same level. I don't have to mark anything. So we can basically look into this level for short-term shorts down to the previous day lows. But we're also going to target 382 before we get there. So very short-term targets, but really what we're trying to get outside of is this. Out of there or out of here. That's where the next bigger move is going to come from. So this move from here to here or this move from here to here really aren't going to be as amazing. So again, this is kind of why I'm leading towards us having most likely a sideways day because of the range that we're being given right now. I mean, we're basically expecting to have a huge push or a huge drop for us to move outside of this range that you have here on the chart. So this is what we're going to be looking outside of today for the most part, but hopefully we're not looking outside of this range for the entire week. But I wanted to make that apparent so you guys don't just go, okay, well, I'm gonna trade heavy this week. I'm gonna trade super crazy this week. I'm gonna go balls deep on every single play that I see pop up. When in reality, you just need to kind of trade light and wait for the better move to happen. We've already made a really, really good drop to the downside, so you really do need to kind of just be patient is really what I'm trying to say. But we got that out of the way. Let's jump into top watches real quick, and then we'll do the rest of the list. So last night, or yesterday, sorry, JBake posted this chart. Nice little channel down. But at trendline support of its bear flag, we rejected a major support turn resistance area, which is the fib 50% retracement if you pull the fibs from 815 shooting star. Major area to watch if we break the flag is 260. So mark that on your chart, highlight it for a support catch or breakdown. 290s is still the area we want to see for any long-term bullish momentum. So keep eyes on that. I also posted this last night, which is what we just went over together. The SPY chart, I dropped a bunch of links last night as well, but this is what I posted, is what I just showed you guys on the bigger time frame. So I'm going to move that to my other screen. Let's go through the rest of this list, starting with AMD. Alright, so previous day high, previous day low, previous day close, previous day open, pre-market high, pre-market low is basically marked. So we got a pretty good short-term setup here for AMD. Looks like out of 6530s or 6580s, 6530s, we can look for good short-term plays. So we'll go ahead and type that up. $65.80s towards 66.20. Towards 65/64.80. Of course, outside of those levels, we can look for more. But for the most part, that's the game plan right there. Tesla, previous day close, previous day open, pre-market high, pre-market low. Don't need to add previous day low because it's basically there. So Tesla's going to be a little bit more trickier, especially because they've popped up. Again, if you look at SPY, SPY has propped up, but it's just flat. You go over to Tesla, it's propped up, and it's actually faded back down for a good chunk. So, I mean, it's kind of the same, but not really to some extent. But it looks like we can look outside of 152.50s or above 158s. So we'll come back to that one. Another weird one, Apple. Previous day low, previous day close, pre-market high, pre-market low, previous day high, previous day opens basically marked. So it looks like outside of 136. And honestly, this is where people get really lost, is when you have levels like this. In reality, when you have levels like this, yeah, you could short from here, yeah, you could short from here, yeah, you could short from here. But in reality, you want to watch for this level. Yes, it might not happen because you're choosing the farthest level, but at least you know you're choosing the most passive level because it's the most outer. You don't want to trade from level to level when it's only like a little bit there, you know. It's not really good risk reward. Nvidia. Come on. Previous day low, previous day high, pre-market high, pre-market low, previous day close, which we don't need to add that because it's basically in there. Previous day open. There we go. Good level. So there we go. Nvidia is a pretty decent one. Nvidia. Bold that. Above 167. Below 165. Towards 164. Below 164 for more. Who did I miss? Good morning, Jack, Nerdy, Nairu, Kid, Evis, Shadow, Sandra, Josh, Wag, E, Anderson, Will, Steven, Chance, Amy, Carrie, and you got served, yo. Good morning to each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for joining into the stream. Very happy to have each and every one of you. Be sure to drop a like on the stream. I'm just here to finish the list real quick. Again, if you guys just joined, go back to the very beginning of the stream where I cover SPY. I cover the smaller and the bigger time frame, kind of giving my thoughts, potential scenarios that are on the market in front of us going into this week, as well as the smaller time frame just for today's info. And of course, we will clear all of these smaller time frame levels you see me adding right now. And then in the morning tomorrow, we'll re-add them again. Again, they are for day-to-day levels. Let's go to Amazon. Am I on the right chart? I am. Previous day high, pre-market high, previous day close, Previous day low is basically marked, and previous day open, pre-market low. All right, so this one's actually pretty cool too. Amazon, unbolden, above. Whoops, put a P instead of an O. That's not how you spell above. Above. So we'll say above 88.70s towards 89.35. Above 89.35 for more. Below 87. $50 towards 87. Or no, I'll say 86.75. Below 86.70s for more. So that one's pretty good. I actually like Amazon probably the most so far, just because it's kind of flat and there's very clear levels in front of us. Netflix will be another doozy. So we got the previous day open. This is going to be probably the cleanest break below level we can choose today for that one. And I really don't need to add much more. The meat of the high of yesterday is marked. The close is basically marked. No need to really add the pre-market high when it's literally $1 away from the previous day high. So this one's actually going to be pretty good. I like this one. Netflix. Above 294.75. Below 288.70s. That one's pretty simple. Meta, not as simple. Well, actually, I say that. Okay, actually, I like that a lot. Sorry, I was brain farting and somebody messaged me. Zooming in. Good morning to everybody who just said it again. Kaizen, Dirty Dan, David, Jazz Loves Kicks, Terry, Green Candlestick, Cameron, Mark, Daffy, Signal Trader. Good morning, everybody. Glad to have you all in here. Hope you all had a good weekend. Let me know in the YouTube section here. What did everyone do this weekend? Anybody do anything cool? You just kind of chill for the weekend? What'd y'all do? Meta, let's see here. So it looks like under 116, 115s, we can look for more shorts. Above 119.50s, we can look for longs. Google. Previous day open, previous day low, previous day close. Ooh, there we go. That's pretty clean. Right as it switches to pre-market too. So it looks like outside of 90.20s or 91.20s. So you basically got a dollar range on Google. 90.20s to 91.20s. Pre-market high, previous day close, previous day low, previous day open. And Microsoft, another one that's got kind of a clean look to it. Looks like outside of 246.80s, or I mean, you could say 244.90s for a good short down at 243.80s, 243.50s. But you also could just wait for outside of this area too. But I like the decent range on Microsoft. Square looks like above 63.20s. It looks good for more longs. Below 62.40s for more shorts. Boeing, meet of the high. That's not the pre-market. Okay, the pre-market's way up here. Okay. Shop, we can look under 35.65 or above 36.40s. That's not a bad one either. I think I'm gonna leave my list how I have it here though. I don't really like any of these to choose a fifth for individual tickers. I think the rest of these are just kind of like the initial starting range, which of course we're going to go to Apple even if we don't have it on the list. Of course we're going to go to Microsoft even if it's not on the list. We literally have to check these tickers. So I think I'll leave the list how we have it now. I don't know who Nate Davis is, but glad to hear. Owen Herbert. Happy Monday. World Cup watching. Oh yeah, I forgot the World Cup happened this weekend. Shout out to people who were rooting for Argentina. Good job for Messi. You made your fantasy football playoffs this weekend. Good stuff, Wag Trader. I personally did not. Worked all weekend. Man, I'm sorry to hear that, but the grind continues on a J. I'm glad to hear you're all good. Top of the morning, Nagamo. Alright, cool. Looks like a lot of you had a pretty good weekend, pretty chill weekend. It's always good to relax. But let me post this list. I don't think I'm going to post anything else on that. I think I'm just going to leave it as is, and then we'll... No, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, I'll just leave it like that. It wants to act weird right now. So we're going to leave it like that. But let me post this list up everywhere. Let me show you what I mean when I'm saying that. When I say I'm posting this for everybody, I am actually. I'm copying it. I'm posting it into this channel here. As soon as I click enter, it sends out to every server, every person who owns this bot, all that good stuff. So go to my server and you can see Bueller TA, and bam, the list is there now. Link to stream and the entire list is there. So that's what I'm doing when I'm saying I'm doing that. Just so you guys know. Just an FYI, Moderna had some news and stock was upgraded. It may have initial morning pop. Good morning, Changman. Glad to have you. Yeah, I was chill. 9-year-old's getting excited for her Xmas Eve present. Hope y'all have a great week. Oh, I hope she has some great presents. Hope y'all have a good Christmas. We do have Christmas this upcoming week. Pretty exciting, right? Anybody have any cool Christmas plans? Alright, JBeg posted again. He said, QQQ, we have a bear flag on the hourly time frame going into the market open. Previous low of day around 270-250s is a key area to watch for a potential bounce or breakdown. This area could be another support turn resistance flip on the 4-hour time frame. Above 273s, we can look for bullish scalps, but I would not be looking for anything major unless we get back over 278s. Good luck today. Click it in. Gave a little flag, gave his plan and everything. So make sure you mark above 273s, but it's not anything major yet until we're back above 278s. This is kind of what I was covering with SPY too. You can also watch the previous day low 270-250s for a key area to bounce or for a breakdown. So keep your eye on that level. Anybody looking at the cues? Hit that like button, everyone. Preach, Green Candlestick. Thank you. Just home to see mom. Okay, nice. Good stuff. My mom passed this year, so Christmas is a little different now for me. Excited to see my family and spend time together. I'm sorry to hear about that hazy trades. I really am. I hope you end up still remembering her for the Christmas, giving each other some love and stuff. Sorry to hear about that. Was that a weather forecast or part of the lo-fi? I don't have my headset on, but it might have just been part of the music. But I didn't have. I swear I don't have any weather forecast playing. The SPY looks to be working a bear flag as well. Looking at the 30-minute, you are correct. They are. But again, we need more info. Is really what we're looking for. So that's why we were kind of putting, don't wait for anything too crazy or anything too major till we see more movement. Which is, again, why I was preaching the different scenarios this morning. Again, guys, make sure to go back to the very beginning of the stream if you're looking for a good review on SPY on the bigger and smaller time frame. Ow. Thank you, Hazy. I'll definitely try my best. Thunderstorms over here south of Austin, Texas. Yeah, it's gonna be cold, SF. Make sure you got your jacket, man. Alright, well, I finished that a lot quicker than I probably should have. I didn't realize it was still 22 minutes before open. Normally when I finish this, we only have like 10-15 minutes, but we actually have a little bit more time. Are there any tickers that are not on this watch list that you guys want to look at? This is probably the perfect time for it while I have time. Oh, love water. Driving from Jax to STL this week. What we do for family. Damn, I have to drive. Well, be safe, Carter. I wish you a safe trip. I'm not looking at therapeutic stocks. Sorry, David. $100, we looked at Tesla. Why would I not look at Tesla? $100, I mean, I was going to say $100 is one of the greatest tickers in the market. Tesla is one of the greatest tickers. We have it charted. We're ready. But yeah, my bad, David. I wasn't like trying to like, yo, you're dumb. Or, like, I'm not trying to be like that. I'm just saying I don't like looking at therapeutic stocks. You'll never catch me looking at AMC, GameStop in a serious manner. I mean, I will if people ask enough, but I'm not. I try to focus on tickers that you should be trading. But good luck on whatever you're doing with that ticker. Visa, we could definitely look at. Maybe. I don't really like day trading Visa or MasterCard. I really like swing trading them more than anything. And I already looked at Visa last week with whoever said Visa last week. And basically their bigger key levels are around 204.70, 205, and 210.30 for their next range move. So we're kind of watching in between there. Geo, this is the one that Michael Burry's in, right? Yeah. I wouldn't really trade options on that either. Oh, you're in medical. Okay, well, I could see why you're in it then, because you actually have knowledge of it. Which, information's everything when it comes to looking at that sector. Damn, this one actually looks kind of bullish, giving us a little rounding move. I wouldn't say it just flies any day now, but you'll probably see it cascade back up to at least maybe 188, 2. You're long? Oh, yeah, I remember. You were the one who said it last time, too. TSM from the bot. What did the bot post? Oh, I'm looking now. Okay, they posted a few. They posted Meta, TSM, a few others. Sorry, let me get this straight. He's looking for... He said it reminds us of GS from a few weeks ago. Oh, so he's looking for... So he's saying that TSM's probably going to do this move here, where it's already done this move here, but he's looking for it to do this move into this move for TSM, which I guess that makes sense. They do look a little alike. Let's go to the weekly and cheat real quick. So we're going to start from here, I guess. And by the way, if you have no clue what I'm doing right now, Be sure to check out workshop number 11. You guys got that over 5K views. Seriously, I cannot thank y'all enough. I'm really happy to not just see one of my videos doing well, but one of the videos that I personally think is my best video doing well. I genuinely believe workshop number 11 is by far my best video, and I worked very hard on it, so I'm very happy to see it doing so well. And I'm honestly just really glad to see a lot of you guys reviewing it multiple times, because it's not something you just watch once and you're like, I get it. You know, it really does take a few times watching it, as well as a few times trying it on your own, to really understand, okay, this is super effective. I should use this more, blah, blah, blah. At that halfway point, remove. I need to add one more up here. And then I want to check that daily one more time. If I could get this to snap on perfectly. There we go. Which they already broke the level. Let's go back down to the 5 minute. Previous day low. Previous day high. So TSM, you could look outside of 78 or 76 is basic. That's a $2 range for TSM today. I would not trade inside of that range. But on the daily, I like what you said, Daffy. Basically, what we could watch for is one, if they break 76, we see if they want to go to 74. That'd be the big thing is one. Two, if we don't, they end up bouncing. We need to see how they react to 77, 65, 78, because if they don't break this, they're basically still in a break below. It's just in a reset candle. So basically today what you're watching for TSM is to see, are they breaking lower, or are they going to produce a reset candle? And that's kind of what most of the market is in, that seat. Again, we're in a point of this chart where we either continue downwards at a even more fearful sell-off, or we're going to get a slight bounce today and see a reset candle pop up. But I would not aim for a huge red day or a huge green day today. I genuinely believe we're going to have wicks on both sides, as well as a smaller body candle. Is how I would assume today closes without even having the market open yet. $2 is your RVSN target. No, you're good, Sand Dollar. Pan W? I will look at Pan W. Isn't that also semiconductor? Or am I tripping? Cybersecurity, that's what it is. Okay. I thought I was on it, but I'm not. What are these levels from? Weekly? Okay, these are all weekly levels. So this is for the daily chart. I don't remember day trading Pan W a lot, I'll be honest with you. Looks like they had a pretty good short-term short there and a pretty good short-term short there. They got a pretty nice range. Looks like outside of 150. Oh, I don't know where that just placed. Looks like outside of 150 and possibly 150, 160s. You could look for a good short-term play. 150, 160s, 150s. But for your Tesla chart, again, Sand Dollar, since it's not on my hit list, as you call it, you can look outside of 152 50s on Tesla or 158s, and it really doesn't have much movement here, but this is still a decent scalp as well as this. So, and this is kind of what I was covering on SPY and a couple other charts. Like, yeah, this move to here is good. Come on. This move to here is good. This move to here is good. But you have to remember it's not that big of a move. So if you do take this opportunity when these moves happen, if they happen, then you need to be very, very quick. You don't need to hesitate. You don't want to hold assuming that it is going to break these supports or resistances. You need to understand that once you're in, you got to get out quick as you're approaching these areas, because there's no 100% confirmation saying you will break this support or you will break this resistance once you break that initiating range. So you need to be very, very light in your trades today, in my opinion, because today is going to be a day where we're trying to fix today, tomorrow, and I'd say even Wednesday are possibly 2 to 3 days where we have to figure out, are we bouncing or are we just consolidating here and we're going to break lower soon. So, and this is where a lot of people get trapped, are these kind of days. So hopefully that makes sense with how I just said that. And it's easy to see that because we've looked at the bigger time frame. We understand, oh, okay, we can't expect we can't expect the market to rally or drop super hard every single day. We have to assume there are going to be those kind of in-between days. Not even Spectrum can keep me away from pre-market stream. Good morning, Pi. Glad to have you, man. TV prices are significantly off. And yeah, to everybody who keeps saying TradingView prices are off, I don't know what to tell you. There are a few fixes. One, message their support and ask, how the hell do you fix your quotes? But you guys have to remember, TV grabs their quotes from a different source. They also have a paid service. So if you're using free TradingView, you are going to have quotes that are off, even if you think you don't. If you pay for the live market data, even then, I've seen people post that prices are still a little bit off. So if you guys have TradingView, you either just need to put a little bit of money into a Thinkorswim account, not for trading, just for opening the account, or switch to a different platform. I don't know what to tell y'all besides I'm sorry, because I don't know how to fix that. I don't personally use TradingView, so I don't know the fixes. But you have to have real-time data, but I believe y'all's data is still different from ours. So I'm not 100% sure on what to tell y'all, but I am aware of this problem. I have seen it multiple times. I've seen it from 10 plus traders at least, especially across the last week or so, which that sucks because the levels aren't close, but I generally would get off TradingView if you find that as a problem. The only way of fixing it is getting off of it. And you don't have to just come to TOS. You don't have to do that. You could go to Webull. You could go to whatever you want. But pick something and stick with it, just because that could be frustrating. Don't just... Basically what I'm saying is don't sit there and just continue to complain, because then you're going to be wasting a lot of your time, a lot of your energy, and it's just not worth it. You're a lot better than that. And I'm not just talking to Mark. I've seen many people DM me about that. But even if it takes just putting $100 in your account, do it. You know, then you'll have your charts ready. Helps to be less dependent on indicators too. Facts. Which I don't think a lot of you guys have that issue. I think a lot of you guys understand what indicators are best used for. Every time I talk to you guys about it, none of you really lose your mind over it or anything, so that's good. But it looks like a lot of you do understand, okay, indicators are just secondary confirmation. They're not something I should only stare at, you know, and that's great. I'm glad you guys are on that page. I guess I'll color these so I don't have to answer everybody who joined stream. Bam. Color-coded. Exactly, as guidance. You have premium TradingView, so you're sticking with it. Totally fine. Again, like I said, you know, to each his own, but just don't sit there and complain continuously over and over. Either switch or stay on it. You know, it's pretty much a simple choice. But don't use your energy on thinking about it too much, because then you're just wasting time and it just doesn't really help you. It's not really productive. All right, is everyone ready for today's market? Good luck. Hope everyone has a great day. Hopping off. Thanks, Bueller. See you later, Hazy. Have a great rest of your day, man. And thank you, guys. I just realized we already broke 60 likes. I appreciate you guys so much. Again, I think the goal is like 50, 60 likes a day. I really don't even care about the likes. It's just something to kind of add on to. Started the color coding last week to help visualize the levels better. Ooh, nice, Rambo. How's it working out for you? I have TV Premium, and yes, their prices are a bit off. Eesh. Looking good. I bet it does. Over time, you might find yourself going, this is too much for me to do each and every day. But at least initially, you know, for doing it for a couple months, it'll lead you to almost not even having to look at what levels you're looking at. You'll instantly be like, oh, that's a smaller time frame level, or oh, that's a bigger time frame level. It'll just kind of easily pick up for you. If there are two squiggly lines top side next to TradingView wording, then you're in delay. Thank you, Sal, for clearing that. Good morning, Big Steak. Glad to have you. Willing, able, and ready. Love it. I did the same to make it easier for me, color coding lines. Ooh, good job. Well, I'm glad us talking about that helped a few of you. Even though I personally don't do that, there are a few of you, like Taylor's a great example, or Rambo. There's a few people in chat who use it on every single chart. They'll do it for their weekly levels, their daily levels, and then they have a different color for their smaller time frame levels. So that's good. That's good. A lot of you guys are enjoying that. Plus, I think it's just good practice. You know, even if you don't do it forever, at least initially, it's really good practice. So that's really good that you guys are enjoying that. And I am paying attention to MCD. This was already a pretty good position for a short after they broke 268s, but basically, as long as they hold under 268s, this should continue lower into this trend line. So this will be a pretty good short swing this week. I think they're already... Oh, no, they haven't broke lower yet. I started color coding and changing the boldness style to... Oh, that's smart too. I didn't even think about that. Changing the thickness of the level. That's smart, Pike. And then I'm an OCD color coder. Netflix really weak into the open right now. Yeah, surprisingly. Which they did have that bad news that happened, and then they just kind of had a... But they had a pretty good day Friday for short positions. Or Thursday, sorry. And then Friday, they just kind of had a sideways day. So this actually sets up a really, really good breakout chart here. You can see they're already breaking 288.70s. So we're going to have to watch 286, 284.50. Shucks. I really liked that range, too. So I guess we'll see, since they're going to have a lower open, instead of just grabbing puts right at open, let's see if they continue to hit 290, 288.70 as resistance. And if they do, that should set up a really good short all the way to 286, 284.50s, which that sucks because I really like that chart a lot. Having opening price sit there is kind of like an outer barrier for shorts. That's a very strong setup there. So I wouldn't be surprised if this sold right off at open and kind of took the opportunity away from us. It happens. I just color code the intraday level so I'm not accidentally removing any TA routine. Oh, that's smart, Sherman. I'm just doing it for the smaller time frame so you never have to delete your bigger time frame levels. That's very smart. And that's kind of a cool place that these levels can put you into, is being able to draw the bigger time frame levels and not really worrying about, you know, having to adjust them or anything, because once you set them, you don't... Technically, you should never have to change them again. You could leave them up forever. Of course, the smaller time frame levels we have to delete, re-add, you know, readjust, all that good stuff. But overall, that's super easy compared to the bigger time frame. But again, if you guys are just starting out, you should practice drawing the levels on the bigger time frames on as many tickers as you possibly can. I mean, right now, in practice mode and learning mode, this is how you should be doing 10 plus charts a day. You know, over and over and over. Even if it's the same 10 charts over and over and over, trust me, doing that over and over is going to be a very, very helpful method for anybody trying to grow more accustomed to the levels. But I'm really glad to hear a lot of you guys figured out your own little methods. Again, you guys could keep calling it my system all you want. I'm never going to sit here and say this is my system. It's our system. If you're in here and you're using it, it's yours as well. But I've never seen other traders talk about the bigger time frame the way that we do in here. So I'm glad we have our own unique style. And I'm glad a lot of you guys are kind of finding your own little methods here and there to make things easier for you or a little bit more organized. So great work. And sharing it too. I appreciate you guys sharing your ideas. Because you never know. You say something and you might think it's worthless, but 12 other people might read that and go, damn, that's a good idea. And then they start using your idea. So continue to share your thoughts as well. This is always an open platform. We appreciate anybody sharing, engaging, interacting. But I'm going to call Devin now. Let's get him in here. Let me get my headset on so I can hear this amazing music with you all. Quotations are amazing.
Yo.
What's going on, man?
Not too much. Ready for a Money Monday.
What are some top watches you have, Devin?
I'm looking at Tesla right now. It has that gap up that it's retesting in the pre-market. So I'm kind of wanting to see if that holds. Because if it doesn't hold that, that's going to be pretty ugly towards 150. But if it can hold it, I like it coming back towards 158. Then, of course, SPY. See what SPY does. It's got a decent range in the pre-market.
Yeah, I
with
like it.
a
It's kind of flat.
with a pretty big wide yesterday range. Low at 381 and high at 386.58. So see where we test around in the market.
It's basically trade from pre-market to the higher low of yesterday.
That's pretty much the move, I think. Because I think, like you said, I think we'd get a range trade week here. It's, week before Christmas. Market's just whipsawed everywhere, up, down. We don't have to go anywhere too fast.
Oh yeah, let me pull that up on stream so everybody sees what days we're off. Because I myself didn't pay attention until yesterday when you were talking about it.
Yeah, we
Holidays,
got
week
like
closes. So
for the next even over the next couple months, we got a couple
yeah, I'm
extra
about to
days
show
off.
them that too. So Christmas Day, guys, Monday is closed. So remember that. Next Monday, it's closed, right? Going into the new year, January 2nd, closed. 2 weeks later, closed. A month later, closed. So we have 4 Mondays in a row that we got to pay attention to. But this could lead to a very low volume end of week this week because next Monday being closed. So even if those first 2 to 3 days do consolidate, we can't really assume that Thursday and Friday are going to be super bullish or super bearish because we'll probably experience some lower volume. But just remember, Monday of next week is off, and then Monday of January 2nd is off, as well as the second week of January.
3-day weekends, plan something, get outside.
Actually, this would be going into the third week. But I wanted to show that to you guys so you can see what days are off, not share it as it's happening. So now you know over a week ahead what's going on. What's up, Mel? Glad to see you, man. And yeah, Amazon a little weak at open. So is not at open, but right before open. So is Netflix. Netflix and Amazon have relative weakness before open. Tesla also pulling back a little bit in kind of the same fashion.
XOM's holding right at its yesterday high for all the pre-market, and that's the 105 level. If it holds that, it's looking pretty good to still get up towards 106. If not, you got 103 is yesterday low.
Meta said it thinks 20% of its investments going toward reality labs and the metaverse is a level of investment we believe makes sense for a company committed to staying at the leading edge of one of the most competitive and innovative industries on Earth. Alright guys, market is open. I should get some hotkeys to like sounds or something to like spam something funny for like when market opens or whatever.
Hurry up and wait.
Good morning, Jackie. Glad to have you in here. Good job, Rob. Good morning, Caleb. SPY just getting some mild buyers at open. Nothing crazy. As I say that, we go green to red within the same second.
Oh, yeah, boy, sellers.
I would assume Amazon and Netflix are not helping us. Yeah, Amazon's selling.
Yeah.
Netflix. Actually, they opened higher. Nice. Okay. They might have a little bit of a chance. But watch this under the pre-market low at 288. That'll be a solid watch under 288. Nvidia getting a pullback to the bigger time frame level in between the previous day close and previous day lows. Tesla also pulling back a little bit.
Yeah, Google's right at its pre-market low at that 90 level trying to crack. Microsoft coming down as well. Apple's coming down towards that pre-market low.
Square's rejecting previous day close. Yeah, we're getting a lot of open pullbacks, but nothing too crazy yet.
Meta's right at its pre-market low. Yeah, a lot of green to red. Very volatile first couple minutes. XOM is pushing higher though. It's 106.
Yo, what's up, Sherman? How about that basketball game? Good morning, Sylvia. Good morning, J-Bake. Glad to have you in here, J-Bake. Negative 28 degrees Celsius in Alberta. That is cold.
Yeah, like it's some kind of crazy weather coming towards the end of the week. They can get that cold. Meta moving lower towards 116 now, breaking that pre-market low. See if that holds.
And the other day, Elon ran a poll on his Twitter talking about should he stay as CEO of Twitter. What are y'all's opinions on that? Do y'all think Elon should stay as the CEO of Twitter and kind of dodge some of the headwind that's kind of hurting Tesla, or should he remain at Twitter and try to push through it and see if it works out? Yeah, Sherman, honestly, I thought I lost because Monday and Tuesday I didn't even fix my lineup. I saw you were up, not by a crazy amount, but a pretty good amount. I was like, oh, I lost. And then I started seeing my team come back. I was like, oh my God, I have a chance. Because we had a close game all the way into yesterday, basically.
Microsoft breaking that yesterday low. Tesla's coming down to fill more of that gap.
Stay. My boy should stay. Man, he don't want to be CEO, let's be real.
Amazon's almost to that yesterday low. Getting a nice pullback on some of these stocks right on open. See if they're going to hold these yesterday lows.
In my personal opinion, he should probably hand it off to somebody else. But you know what's funny though, guys, and this is kind of why I think Tesla is one of the most undervalued stocks right now, is that it has all this headwind, right? But nothing's really changing at Tesla. You know, if anything, they're doing even better right now than they were a couple months ago. So it's kind of crazy to me they're getting so much hate. Now I understand from a Tesla investor's point of view that the Twitter could, take away his time. But if you guys have been paying attention across the past 2 years, Elon has actually already named 2 people for a possible Tesla CEO. And he's already stated openly he doesn't even have to run Tesla anymore. Yes, he does add his own advice and insight here and there, but I would say over 90% of the work that's being done at Tesla is already made without his decisions. So it's already kind of running without him. And I think a lot of people are overlooking this. So that's why I personally think they're one of the most underrated tickers right now. Because they just keep getting hammered by this news, and it just doesn't make sense why it's hurting it that much. Yes, he's selling some Tesla shares, but if you look, he still has a huge majority position, even with selling this many. So yeah, he's able to fund his other ventures. But I actually think this is going to help Tesla stock over time. It's going to bring it down to a super valuable spot. Like right now, I genuinely think Tesla at 150 is a super valuable spot for a long-term investment, at least, in my opinion. But it's just crazy they have all this hate, yet they're still running without him. They don't even need Elon to continue running. And I'm going to think that Twitter, in a matter of 2 years, is going to be the same way. So even if he still is the CEO, just because he's not an active CEO doesn't mean he doesn't have to be the CEO. So that's what kind of gets me about that whole situation. So that's why I think there's good arguments for both sides for if he should stay or not. So I was getting y'all's opinions because that's pretty smart. I mean, you could wait for a reversal. It's all up to you. I'm not here to tell you when to buy, but personally, I do believe Tesla at 150 is a crazy value spot. I have friends who invested into Tesla before both splits, and this is where their averages are. So these people have been witnessing huge drops, and they're still green in their position. So yes, I do believe 150 is a great buying spot. Again, that's just my personal opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to make any investment decisions for any of you. It's all up to you. But that's just my opinion from what I have seen over the past 2 years on Tesla. I would say this is a super valuable spot for them. Also, why is my change all messed up? Here we go. That's a little better. I hate when you save your set on your chart. It'll save all of this stuff, but it doesn't save the distance you have on this, so you have to constantly adjust this to make it right as you kind of mess with it more. AMD is cracking below 6480s very well. Over the next 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, you're going to want to see if they're still holding under 6480s. Tesla could get a very good bounce off of 150.20s here. This is the previous day close. Look for bounces on those lows or previous day closes as long as they're still holding is basically what I'm going to say for most of these charts. For Nvidia and AMD, you're going to want to see if they're still remaining under their break belows. Amazon getting a little froggy. Netflix trying to hold on for dear life at pre-market low. 288. We got a couple setups trying to hold really good levels here now. ARK just hit a new 52-week low again today. Microsoft cracking lower just now. What's Apple doing? Trying to hold. So watch the previous day low on Apple. That's the king of the market. I'm seeing a lot more bearish setups than I am bullish, but we have a lot of setups kind of approaching their previous day low or previous day close. So we do have possible short-term upside here for a few of those tickers I just went through. Yeah, Nvidia and AMD died right at open. Yeah, no, Moon, I understand that. I'm talking about this right here. This does adjust no matter what setting you turn on. This bar here with all my widgets on the left. Totally fine you got served, yo. But I do personally believe it's a good investment spot for long term. First 10 minutes are almost up. We have less than 30 seconds. What's up? Hey, we have another Josh viewer. That's what's up. My army of Joshes is collecting now. How do you get that price line to just go to the right like that? Mine just goes across the whole screen. Thanks. Click price level tool for one. And click a random spot. You don't really need to mark anything special yet. Right click it, edit properties. You're going to want to, I mean, I'll leave this up for a second so you can see what mine's like, but this is how I have it. I have left extension off, so however far left I grab it, it doesn't continue over to the left. But make sure you have right extension on, and you can turn name on if you want. You can have show price on the right if you want. You can edit this name. I know a lot of you who like to be organized will label these levels, you know, however you're grabbing them, whether it's the pre-market low and then you label it that. But these are the settings I have, and after you select that, Josh, click Save as Default, and then click OK. Mexican Josh Josue. This is Think or Swim by TD Ameritrade Crash Morton. What's up, Anderson? Glad to see you calling out Bank of America again. ARK versus Fossil meme is pretty good. Kathy versus Warren. Elizabeth Warren or Warren Buffett? Because I'd agree with Elizabeth Warren, but Warren Buffett himself is still killing it. I think I showed y'all a couple weeks ago how much of his portfolio is just in Apple. And I can show y'all again today. There's a really cool website to view bigger portfolios, bigger investment funds. You can see what they're all buying, what they're all selling. And I'm pretty sure it's a free website. I'm not even logged in. Warren Buffett. Yeah, ARK versus Warren Buffett isn't even really a competition. Not even close. ARK's only been trending for like a year or two. Buffett's been around for a very long time. Helped our government save the crisis in '08. I mean, that dude's kind of the GOAT.
Google had a nice bounce off that yesterday low. It's trying to retake opening price. See if it rejects or can take that.
In the first 10 minutes, we get the exact same candle, one red, one green.
Microsoft's just not getting any buyer reaction yet. What Apple's coming down towards that pre-market low still.
Yeah, previous day lows next, 133.70s. Tesla might be rejecting in a bearish way here from that potential retest you were talking about this morning.
Same thing with Amazon. Retested, now it's coming back under pre-market low.
A lot of good short-term buyer reactions, nothing really holding up. So you might be seeing a continuation down in a lot of these charts now, everybody. Keep eyes on Netflix, guys. Under 288, that could be a really good short down to 286. 284.60s is a secondary target. Amazon's retesting inside of the range. Could be a good short as long as you keep stops at 87.50, 87.75, but I'd wait for a little bit more confirmation on that. My bad, Duffy. TSM just basically breaking today's open. I mean, this is how SPY's reacting right now. Nothing's really acting on their own right now. Except AMD and NVIDIA, those just keep continuing lower. Probably see them slow down if we see everything else slow down. Nothing crazy yet, though. Yeah, my TOS is instant today. If that breaks in the next minute, that's going to look really good for shorts to the downside on Netflix. Just go back to SPY and wait. Tesla breaking today's open. This can get really froggy if it holds above today's open. If you want to go ahead and mark that level, be my guest, but it's basically at 154 flat. And rising volume. Tesla getting froggy here. Retaking this retest point that I was talking about right here. And today's open. Two very, very significant details on that recent push. So very good push by Tesla this morning. Netflix still defending that 288. Tesla does not have the support of Amazon. Amazon's still rejecting. So Tesla's all on its own. AMD and NVIDIA is still super weak this morning.
It's coming down for a new intraday low. See what's going to hold here.
Netflix still defending 288. Watch for Meta outside of 117.80s or 116. That's a $1.20 range. Again, that's $1.80 range. 117.80s or under 116s. You know, I'll just go ahead and type that. Microsoft making another low of day, testing their next level below. Watch under 242.20s for possible continuation down. I would also switch over to Apple and we'll keep that on watch now that Microsoft's breaking lower. Tesla is literally all by itself. Again, This is like the 12th day in a row they're by themselves.
Doing their own thing. SPY's moving towards 382.
Netflix trying to break 288.
Got 2 minutes left on this 10-minute candle. Volume starting to come in. Not too crazy yet.
Can the sellers keep Netflix under 288? Possibly seeing a flush happen here. If anybody is going to enter this, two good stop spots in my opinion are today's open or 290. So 289.50 or 290 are great stop losses. 100 people forgot to hit the like button. I appreciate that, Brian. And you know me, I don't really care if we hit 1 billion likes or not. I'm just happy to be here with you guys. I'm glad to be here with a more mature audience. A lot of you guys have been with us for weeks on end now. Some of you have been here for months. So it's really nice to just kind of have everyone on the same page.
Microsoft cracking 242. Google coming back down, so it's Meta. Looking pretty good with about 50 seconds left on this 10-minute candle.
Uh-oh, more Tesla news. German prosecutor investigating Tesla over hazardous materials. Probe linked to suspected storage facility at Grunheide plant. 30 seconds left in these 5-minute candles. SPY making a new low of day. Most likely with the help of Apple breaking another low of day, Microsoft breaking another low of day, and Amazon retesting and pushing but not making a new low of day yet. So the leading indicators are all the weights. You've already had NVIDIA AMD weakness. So that was already kind of in there. Google retesting kind of in the same fashion Amazon is. Meta holding up pretty well considering everything else happening. Also keeping eyes on Netflix as they're still, for their love of Christ, holding 288. I mean, I don't know how they're doing it, but they are holding 288 still. No confirmation outside of that level. That last candle, though, that kind of made you think, like, damn, there are definitely some bears still here. Clearly there are some bulls as well. They wicked that up perfectly. So no confirmation yet. But that's a decent short under 288s. Especially if these keep continuing lower. So what are our weak and strong sectors today? We don't really have a super strong sector today, but we do have one weak sector. Comms, that's your Netflix, your Meta, your Google sector. And I'd say tech is second place behind them. It's your Apple, Microsoft sector, and then real estate. Strong sector is holding up. The strongest is energy. They're not really strong, it's just a 0.5%. Everything else that's green is under a 0.5% up. But nothing's really moving that wild this morning so far. Perfect little retest spot too. Here's your opening price. They came back up, retested it, rejected, closed back under 383.20s, and then they made a new low of day. So really good push by bears early this morning. They also had volume confirmation.
Amazon back at that yesterday low. That's going to help while Google's breaking yesterday low.
Whoops, I need to do that. Oh. Just dropped my fucking phone. Waiting for your spy poots to be in the money. However, it will be good to see the reflection of how many people are watching with the like button. True. Which some people in here join just to support the stream because they're at work or they can't talk and they're like on the phone. Because some people in here work from home and are on the phone, or some people are at work and are just watching us on a side screen, so they won't be able to like or discuss as much. But I do appreciate anybody in here interacting, engaging, supporting the streams. Definitely means a lot to me. I'm gonna move this back up so I can see everything again. AMD and Nvidia left the train stations a little too early, so I don't blame anyone for missing those. Amazon, that was a pretty good retest. Keeping your stops at 87.50s, 87.75s. I would be taking profits into this support here. If you're looking for a further continuation, down needs to be under 86.70s. But that wasn't a bad one. Netflix still somehow fighting 288. I do like that for a continuation down, as long as everything else continues down. You also want to keep watch on Meta and Google in comparison to Netflix, considering they're in the same sector. And I'm not surprised to see Tesla slowing down because they didn't have any help from Amazon. They didn't have any help from Apple or Microsoft. A lot of the weights were slowing down, so it's not really Tesla's fault that it didn't continue higher there. This is why you have to take market awareness into everything.
Not crazy volume on any of these seller moves right now, kind of slowing down. Microsoft and Apple getting a little bit of buyers waking up as they approach their levels. Meta's coming back to that pre-market low. Google's holding it yesterday, low. XOM's got a pretty tight range. Hasn't moved too much.
I am people. What's up, Quamby? Glad to have you. Me watching from work. Yeah, there are. That's another good point, Rob. There are a lot of people that are not in the United States watching. I actually have a crazy amount of people not inside of the United States watching these streams each and every week, which is really cool. But we've always had people kind of worldwide. In our chat, I know for a fact I have people from the Middle East. We have people from Eastern Europe. We have people from Western Europe. We have a couple from Africa. There's a few from Australia, a couple from Canada, a couple from the UK. But the majority is the United States. But we do have people in literally every continent, basically, except Antarctica. So that's pretty cool. Probably a lot of people... Oh, wait, I already read that. Learning as much as I can in just mental trading. Good stuff, Chris. Continue to mental trade. I'm not joking. Like, the more you do that, the better you will get. And you'll see it whenever you start taking more of your first real trades. You'll start to be like, damn, this is a little bit easier. It's not easier. It just makes more sense because you've visualized it a lot more. So it's helping you out a lot, too. Mental trading is the greatest way to grow. Sweden, pretty close. Nice.
Trying to flirt with that 382. Keeps wicking up above and below.
This has been an amazing chat and stream. Appreciate you, Coach. A real coach. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I said Microsoft just getting hammered, man. 140, 133 and pushing down, bringing Apple down, see if it cracks 133. It's definitely not good for SPY. And Google at its yesterday low still. If it breaks that, that'll bring SPY down more towards the 181. Burke Beach re-losing its pre-market low.
Good call outs on BAC, Anderson. Oh, Daffy, I have to watch your video today. Don't let me forget. I'll probably watch it on the end of the stream again, just so I 100% don't forget. I saw it was like 4 minutes or something, so why not? I also watched Sherman video again. I need to promote that. Again, guys, those few YouTube channels that I have in my bio, I'm not joking. You need to review them. So go down here. He has amazing videos. This is my backup channel with Swings. Another member of mine that has amazing videos. That's who we're going to watch today. And he just posted a new video the other day that's over an hour long. Again, his first video is an hour. He has another hour 14. I would take time to review these two videos. I mean, he blows my mind in how in-depth he goes in some of this. Like, it almost looks like I'm watching one of my own videos. So I would take time to check out some of these YouTubes. I love these dudes so much. Username Jonathan, Leland, Daffy. These guys have really, really good videos. Again, kind of just like my channel. But you get to see it from their perspective, from a member of the group. A lot of those videos are amazing. First time commenting. Been using your chart TA videos and studying night before. Had 23 green days last month. Trying to stay consistent. Thanks for all the content. Appreciate that, Travis. And honestly, amazing job, man. That's a huge streak. Continue to lower your risk as you move forward. Great work, though, Travis. Good morning at work, listening to the stream and learning a lot, just listening to y'all. Appreciate that. I'm just really glad to hear you guys are enjoying this, because this is how we like to trade, how we like to chart. There's really nothing else to do. You know, nothing else to look for. I'm not having to stare at 60 other things. It's just get really good at drawing the levels, get really good at navigating the levels, and take the trades as I see the risk pop up. If you see the risk reward is there, take it. Set up a plan. What's my stop? What's my exit? And yeah, no problem, Jonathan. Thank you again, man. I really do. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate you for posting those videos, because I know how hard it is to make a video. It's not as easy as some people think. You don't just click record, bam, content's made. No, it's click record and actually think about what you want to say and break down the system that we know and love so much. You know, so I'm really happy to see you, Leland, Daffy, username, post really, really good videos. It's cool, too, because a lot of you guys kind of cover the same stuff, but with your own little, you know, your own perspective. So it really does have amazing amounts of insight in those videos.
Got our first 30-minute candle on the market of the day and our new 10-minute candle.
Tesla still trying to defend. I saw Netflix was still trying to defend, even with the amount of weakness around them. If we get any pops to the upside, Tesla and Netflix are going to be the two we have to watch. And Meta as a good tertiary watch, because they have not fallen at all either. Boeing looking pretty good for shorts, risk-reward wise. Two former Tesla workers file NLRB complaints over dismissals. Tesla is accused of illegally firing workers over Musk comments. Out at 18%, not trusting this break. Great work, Anderson. Let's get a round of applause for Anderson posting BAC and jumping into his own trade. Great job, man. Just discovered you 2 years in and haven't really been profitable, but loving how you show and put everything together, hoping this, along with a lot of work, can lead to providing... Exactly, man, and that's exactly what I'm trying to get at. It's not just about, you know, getting lucky and winning a bunch. You know, it's about working hard. You know, even if the system is good, that doesn't mean we don't have to work any less harder, you know? It's a really good perspective, Josh. And I'm really glad you've been in here, man. Glad to have you in here. A lot, and again, I've stated this a lot of times. A lot of people in here are from other groups that... I'm not going to say didn't have luck, but didn't have fun in their groups or didn't experience any amounts of learning, or at first they join and it's like all about signals and they realize over time, oh crap, it's not just about signals. I should probably learn some of this on my own. And then you realize, oh crap, these guys don't really have any education. So this is where a lot of our viewers come from, or from other groups. And this is why I keep my Discord at the cheapest around, because I understand a lot of you guys have gone through a lot of the same things as each other. I think every single one of us have probably experienced one really bad group or learned from a good group that has signals that, if we learn this on our own, it'll be a lot more fun instead of just trying to follow someone and take random trades. Spoon feeding groups, exactly. So I know a lot of you guys are from the same kind of background. Some of you have either never joined a group and you've just never been profitable on your own, or you've been in other groups and same story, so, and that's totally fine. But again, I'm not going to go to war for someone who is lazy. So make sure you are a hard worker. Make sure you are putting in the work to chart some of these on your own. Make sure you're here to, do some of the lifting on your own. We're not going to do it all. Because at the end of the day, who's taking the trade, me or you? You are. Good job for anybody who took any shorts on Microsoft under 242.20. Looks like Apple also did really well under their previous day low.
Google and Meta finally moving lower.
I just posted in my chat for anybody who's in Microsoft or Apple shorts to take profit. Mainly because I don't like where we are on SPY, and a lot of these things have slowed down. If it does go lower, who cares? I'm honestly just impressed by Netflix holding 288 still. If anything, this adds more conviction to bulls. If you see any rising buyers come out of this above 290s, that's a very good long. And really, it's not 290s. You want to watch that previous day close, 290.35. Meta, watch between 116 117.80s. That range is still valid. Apple and Microsoft definitely getting it, or taking a blow to SPY though. I wouldn't be surprised for SPY to at least test this area, just to at least build some base in a good area, because this isn't really anywhere. This is just where we had some support on Friday. So we probably will dip down to the low of 381s. Man, you guys really liked my Christmas meme on Twitter. I got that from a friend. It's like a chart with a Christmas tree. Because the chart's so choppy. It also looks like I didn't point it out when it was happening, but from JBake's call out on the Qs on the top watches chart, that did really well on the triple Qs. Tesla breaking 152.50s again. I again blame Amazon and a lot of the top weights for not helping Tesla on that one, because they were set up very well, and so was Netflix, so was Meta, but they didn't have help from their counterparts. So that's why those didn't move. And honestly, now is a great time to probably get out of Amazon if anybody took any shorts on this. I'm typing great time to exit shorts on Amazon from the list and the stream. If anybody took Amazon shorts, great time to take profits now that they're in the next area below. Now, let's see, do we get a bounce, or do we just get some consolidation that leads to very low volume? This is the next thing to look out for now that a lot of the top weights have pushed us down to such important supports. That's kind of why I wasn't looking at it too much, Daffy. It doesn't, I mean, it's a semiconductor, but it doesn't really move like AMD or NVIDIA options premium-wise. Which, as I say, NVIDIA, this actually looks really good for a possible bounce here. Really good volume on a hammer at support. Nothing crazy, nothing confirmed yet, but still nice initial kind of pop to it. Tesla selling off, catching up to everybody else that just sold off. Apple making another low of day. Microsoft made another low of day, still just kind of pulling up now. Yeah, it's time to exit shorts, Rambo. If anybody's in shorts, it's time to exit and chill. Because even if it does continue to 381s, it's not that much movement. So you can't expect all of these to continue selling off in an aggressive manner like that. This is why I personally was saying take profit on Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. I don't see anything that tells you to stay in. And so what if they continue a little bit lower? It's not that good of a risk reward. But who all in here took Apple, Microsoft, or Amazon based on either the watch list or anything we covered from this morning's stream where I talked about the levels, potential trade plans you could take past certain levels? If you're just mental trading, pat on the back to you. Very happy for you, very proud to see you taking this serious. But let me know, show of hands, who took any plays on Apple, Microsoft, or Amazon? If you took AMD and NVIDIA, great work. I'm not saying those because I would be very surprised if someone took those just because they did break very, very early on. So it didn't give you as much confidence as the others. Hey, that's what's up. Actually took Apple and Microsoft. Good shit. Took Apple earlier, didn't take it to the next leg down, but super happy with the trade. Totally fine. Like I said, focus on those small trades first. Too many times do I see people getting into trades and they're like, oh, I'm going to take it to this level. And it's like super far away. It's like, why are you aiming for that? That is such low probability of us doing that. Hey, what's up, Josh? In the ICU today. Be safe, man. Oh, you're good, Big Stick. I didn't think you were yelling at me. What's up, Isaiah? Always happy to see your name pop up. You took AMD for a quick profit. Good stuff, Stephanie. Because, yeah, it had a good drop. I'm not saying it was impossible, but it was definitely hard on the emotional part of entering just because it was like, oh, crap, this is too early. But good stuff, regardless. because it did break good levels. I think I'm mostly impressed with Netflix holding 288 throughout all of that. That was definitely impressive. They still don't have any good bullish or bearish confirmations, but they're just nobody's winning in this range between previous day close and today's true pre-market low at 288. I mean, they're holding it to the cent. Yep, I'm out on vacay right now, so not taking any trades. Smart. But the price action isn't giving any direction yet for a high probability setup. No, you're correct, Isaiah. You're 100% correct. I'm glad you're saying it like that too. Because it shows a lot of growth on your part. Because you don't just get into this market and you think like that. You have to get into this market and initially you're like, oh, we only go up or down. There is no other direction. And then over time you start to realize, oh yeah, there is another direction. We have sideways where it ends up kind of, which again, you have to have sideways price action, because if you don't, you're not going to get these big pops or these big drops. You have to have sideways price action. So you have to also understand when to trade and when not to trade based on that consolidation. We didn't really have much. Again, after these initial drops, we haven't really had much. So again, we're just kind of looking for more information to get us into another trade. So far, though, pretty good shorts on a lot of these charts kind of from open. I'd say the more passive ones were Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. The less passive ones were AMD and Nvidia. And you still have Netflix holding on for dear life in between its range. Meta as well. Meta broke 116s. Doing pretty good so far now that it's almost down to its next level. Watch for under 115s for more continuation down. If you do see a break above 116s, you want to pay attention to today's open at 116.83 to see if they break that for more upside. But it looks like a lot of the short ideas have been working out today.
So far, a little bit of buyers, but still waiting for more information. Nothing's confirmed. Tesla's still coming down towards that pre-market low, or yesterday low at 150. I really like XOM's tight range still. Whatever way it breaks out, it's definitely gonna help SPY one way or another. Wait on it. Pick a direction. Google getting back over yesterday low towards 90, pre-market low.
Netflix breaking 290s. This is good for bulls on Netflix, breaking the previous day close after holding yesterday open and pre-market low. Took a small 7% gain on SPY, took the morning star reversal on the 5-minute up to the control point of high of day to low of day. Beautiful job, Mies. Round of applause for Mies on that one, everybody. I was just looking at that too, J-Bait, because I really like the fact they had this candle pop up with good volume, and they have more candles popping up with even more volume. So this is a good initial base for them. It'd be really nice to see them pop over basically 160, 260s, and see a good rising volume push pick up. And yeah, guys, I'll be dropping information on Twitter and Discord today about the potential discounts and the giveaway that we're doing. I'm going to be giving away 3 BB courses this week. That'll be on Twitter for the giveaway. On Discord, I will be doing, not giveaways, but discounts on memberships and the course if you are interested in getting it if you don't win the giveaway. The giveaway should end on like Thursday. I haven't started it yet, but just throwing that out there for y'all. Talked about it last week and the week before. It's going on this week, so I'll be sure to post information on my Twitter and in the announcements channel in the main Discord for anybody who is interested in any of that. Again, for discounts and for the giveaway.
I get some nice buyers here coming up towards opening price. See if they can overtake that for the bulls. Will be good towards 384.31. Microsoft getting a nice bounce. Looks to be leading the way with Google. Got over 90. Still waiting on XOM. Amazon back over that yesterday low. Yeah, what kind of...
I told people to exit shorts at a perfect time then.
Yes, sir.
Because you'd be screwed right now. Good call out, Pike. He said the king and queen are ripping. Love to see when you guys type that. King is Microsoft, or king is Apple, queen is Microsoft. Very low volume on this entire chart too, for Microsoft. Watch for Tesla to continue holding 150s for possible bounces.
So far, rejecting that opening price, coming back to retest pre-market low, see if it's going to hold or we're going to come back down lower.
took SPY 394 calls on the 10-minute cup and handle. SPY flirted with 382 too much. Up 50% on SPY calls so far. Great job, Rambo. Round of applause for Rambo. And thank you guys. I just realized we're over 100 likes on the stream. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for supporting. Thank you guys for taking the time to go drop a like on the stream. It means a lot. And yeah, SPY back into gray area again. Good sign to see them go back up and test today's open. If we can get a slowdown and that holds a good support, which are probably about 382.80s, then we can still see a continuation higher. Good stuff, Brady, 11% on the Google dip. Nvidia's breaking base. Good call out by Jay Bake, and have good volume over the previous candle. So yeah, Nvidia might be a really good one to look for a recovery back up to 164s. You have 165s as a next target outside of that, but great call out by Jay Bake. AMD also helping out a little bit as they're getting more volume pouring into this indecisive candle at support. So basically you should be bullish as long as 63.70 holds. For further continuation down, you need to see that level break. Tesla, same story with 150s. Oh, this is that song. It's like, my money don't jiggle, jiggle, it folds.
That's your favorite one right there, boy.
Nope, not even close. It's not actually that song. It sounds just like it. TOS is fast today. I don't know what I did. I guess turning off my computer last night helped.
When's the last time you turned your computer off?
I don't know. I mean, you're not supposed to turn it off a lot. That's a common misconception a lot of people have, is turning your computer off a lot. That's actually a bad thing. You should try to turn it off as least as you can. But yeah, I have no idea the last time. I shut it off all night. I haven't done that in a while. We've also dropped only 418 frames, which is only 0.1% of the frames on the stream. So that's like a historical low drop frames. So it looks like I needed to do it. I had an update, so I was like, why not update and shut down? But yeah, it definitely seemed to have helped.
Looks to be rejecting for a lower high right now, so we're going to be looking to see if we're going to come and retest this low today and put in a higher low, or if we're going to break lower, or if we're going to build some base right at pre-market low and try to get over that intraday high right there after the open. Microsoft getting closer to that yesterday low. Amazon still holding over. Apple hasn't caught as much buyers. XOM still hasn't exited range. Google pushing over 90, pretty nice. Meta still under that pre-market low. It's coming up to it. New 10 and 30-minute candle in the market.
I don't know, Nox. I've heard from dudes who make hundreds of computers for a shit ton of money who tell me you should turn it off as the least amount you can. You don't want to keep turning it on and off. That's just what I've heard from friends.
Sure, there's probably a difference in cooling systems too. Like some of the computers have like those really high-end cooling systems.
Yeah, some of them probably need to cool down, and then some of them probably don't. I guess you're right. It kind of depends on what your system is.
Still battling around opening price on SPY. Not giving us too much direction yet. Google and Microsoft moving the most to the upside, it looks like. Still nothing crazy. SPY's retesting, breaking pre-market low area. We're going to see if we put a higher low in.
Alright, I've had like 10 people message me. Guys, I'm not doing the giveaway and all that till after the stream is over. Again, look for information on that on Twitter or my main Discord for information on that. But I have not released info on any of that yet. I'm streaming right now. I can't do it. So just wait for that info to come out. But that's what I'll be looking for. So just be patient. The information will come out. Good call out. I see two of you calling out Apple new low of day. Great work. Bringing more weakness into today's market.
XOM's retesting its pre-market low, so if it picks the downside, that'll definitely help take SPY lower here. Tesla moving lower towards that yesterday low. See if it cracks 150.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Devin. I just bought some Tesla shares.
Did you?
Yeah. I took profit on Redfin.
Nice.
That was an over 40% gain. So I'm happy with that one.
Honestly, I want XOM to break lower. Still wanted to get towards 100. Well, Meta really aren't in sync at all today. Meta's rejecting while Google's still trying to get over 90-50. Amazon and Tesla just flirting with their yesterday lows.
Apple is fighting to stay above 132. Thank you, Sonia. Curious, when you buy shares, what sort of time frame do you have? What do you mean time frame? I just see it as a long-term investment. I don't have like a time limit on it. I believe where I'm buying is a good risk to reward spot. I plan on holding till I'm in profit. I'll probably hold Tesla a lot longer than I did Redfin. Redfin I just bought because it was at such a crazy low price. I bought it at like 258, sold it like 4 something.
Tesla losing 150, Amazon coming down. XOM's trying to lose its pre-market lows, see if it does. The only thing that's moving up still is Google. XLV Healthcare is coming back down, rejecting towards yesterday low.
Yeah, a longer period of time, Amy. I'm not the type of guy to buy and then sell within the same week on shares, on equity plays. Equity plays I like because you can do longer periods of time. You don't have theta or any variables. It's just straight up price. Which is nice for people who have a lot of money to put into equity plays.
My thoughts on the Santa Claus rally is we already had it. I mean, if you go back on the daily and look at how much SPY rallied up until this previous week, I mean, that was a pretty good rally from.
And I've talked about it like 10 times over. I talked about us pricing in this move. Us rallying after CPI, this was all in anticipation of us having a lower cut. The cut finally comes out, then we can sell off. And that's exactly what happened. So this was talked about many, many times beforehand. Now what we're watching for is what kind of price action are we going to be getting up until February, where we have the next bigger meeting at. So, I mean, that could be just a slight leg up and then a continuation down. We could be here before the next February meeting, you know, which is only, you know, about a month and a half away. So I wouldn't keep posting Santa rally this, Santa rally that. I wouldn't look for any of that crap. Santa doesn't matter right now. The news matters. What we've been experiencing matters, not random historical data that is only accurate some years. It's not going to be accurate every single year on the dot. So it's also not really fair to sit here and say, yeah, it will happen. No, it won't happen. It's not really fair to give you a vague yes or no. But we've already had a priced in move. I'm sorry to say it. I see people talk about it every year and I just never see the point. You know, what's the point of planning for just upside? You're literally screwing yourself halfway, and you're not even halfway. You're actually cutting yourself down to 25% because it's only a 50-50 that it will go higher once you've decided that, you know. So you're really not really helping yourself. I would more or less plan for both sides. You guys hear this from me every single stream. You see it on every single list I make. You see it every time even if I think something is more bearish, I will still plan a possible move to the upside, because there's no point in just planning one side. So I don't know. I really wouldn't waste time thinking about a Santa rally. But as Coach just posted, it is the last few days of the month going into the new year where this occurs. So I'd be very careful. But yeah. Dollar too, man. That's such an impressive recovery they had from this morning. I woke up really early. I fell back asleep, but I woke up really early and I saw the dollar chart and I was like, what the heck's going on? I see this and I'm thinking, oh, we're about to have a rally today. And then, of course, I wake back up later and we're back up to where we were. Pretty crazy chart, though, on the dollar today. I occasionally look at the bonds, but not every single day. I don't really pay attention to them too heavily. But the bond market is very nice to watch, just for outside confluence on the equity and non-equity markets. Exactly. React, don't predict. That's probably the best way anybody could say that. 2% rally after a 10% drop. And positioning wise, that's why I'm stating what I'm stating, because you could see a pop. It's a very good spot to get a pop. But does this mean we have to continue moving higher just because we popped from the support? No. They could easily reject us at the 390s, the 394s, and give us our slowdown. So it kind of reminds me of this chart here on Apple. You know, we had this strong rally, and I remember a lot of people saying we're going to 200 from here. From there, we had a bearish kicker and a retest to the downward movement. We shorted this this move here down to the 150s, and it was crazy because everybody and their grandma was like super bullish, and then all of a sudden everyone was quiet. That's kind of what I'm feeling right now. You know, everyone's like getting too bullish too quick. It doesn't make any sense. Like, yes, we've dropped. Yes, we could get some upside, but I wouldn't turn super bullish yet. It's time right now to just kind of sit and be patient, and react to the next piece of news. That's all the way in February, you know. So we have a lot of time. So what do you think price action is going to want to do up until that point in early February? They're going to want to test both sides of the range. They're going to want to develop volume inside of this shelf. So they're going to want to take time inside of this area. And again, the area is between 350 and 412. That's a huge range. So we could see all kinds of price action happen in here between the next month and a half. So take your time, seriously. I would not jump to any conclusions. I would not go crazy on anything yet. Continue maintaining. Wow, solid job here by Daffy. I gotta share this one. And we'll watch this video at the end of the stream, but he said, as I explained in the YouTube video, I used the same scenario again. Range break. So he waited till price gave himself a little bit of a range. He got in, he got out. And look at that, over 30% on a Tesla put. Beautiful job, Daffy. I'm going to assume he bought from here, sold here, or he bought here, sold here. I can't tell because he didn't circle it. But great job, Devontae. Tesla pre-market low retest with lowering volume. Cut for a small win because I'm not liking where SPY is. Oh, smart thinking. Again, not just randomly guessing, reacting. Great work, Devontae, and great work, Daffy. Always happy to see y'all post those gains in there. I'm honestly really just impressed with everybody who goes in there and posts, because it's not just about the gains or the losses. It's about the reasoning. You should never go into that channel and just post gains. You've seen it from my members. You should never just post gains or losses. You should always have a chart. You should always have something typed out to show your reasoning on why you liked it. What was your reason for entry? Why did you exit? Why did you not like it? You know, and go over that. And it's not for other people. It's for you. You're reiterating it to yourself. But if you take time to post at least one review a day, even if it's just a mental trade, that is an amazing amount of practice. That is an amazing amount of visualizing review. I would do that every single day. Post at least one mental trade or one real trade that you took and show that review. Why'd you enter? Why'd you exit? Show every bit of reasoning, label it all. It's for future you to grow. Here's some random off-market news. I don't know why this is even being posted, but Amber Heard and Johnny Depp have settled their defamation case for a reported $1 million down from the $8 million she had been ordered to pay. So she still has to pay $7 million. Just in, Tesla will invest a total of more than $10 billion in its new Mexican factory, which will first produce parts and then a new low-cost car model. Ooh. SBF, which is the the old CEO of FTX, is prepared to be extradited to the United States as soon as today. One a day will keep your mind active. Practice it like free throws. Preach, Jonathan. That's a very good kind of analogy or metaphor. You know, using it as like free throws at basketball. You know, constantly getting yourself that extra practice. But really good analogy, Sherman. I like that a lot. We don't want him just extradite his money. I'm going to type that out in the trade results channel. I'm going to take your little analogy, Sherman, if that's okay with you. His money. Yeah, speaking of his money, I honestly have not been checking Bitcoin. I saw the drop under 18K. We saw the slight recovery up to 18K. We saw the rejection, and now they're basically back to the halfway point. So they're kind of in limbo mode. This is where you'll see people either picking up more Bitcoin, or you'll see them wait until we either get that new low and then they'll pick up more, or you'll see them just kind of chill. This will be where you see a lot of low volume, though. You'll probably see this in this range for a very long time. Because you still have more impending drama on other people that are just like FTX. You have Binance, you have Coinbase, all under very heavy amounts of pressure right now during all this SBF, FTX drama. So definitely smart to pay attention to that if you are into crypto. I'm personally not into crypto. I don't have a single crypto coin. I would like to add, now that we have some more time go by, I do like AMD, I almost said NVIDIA, AMD's base build a lot. Let's go check NVIDIA. And NVIDIA also having that base build. I almost promised if I was to put on the 30 TEMA and the 9 EMA, the 30 TEMA is probably curling now, and the 9 EMA is probably curling as well. So I'd look at AMD and NVIDIA for possible moves to the upside if rising volume steps in. Keep those on your watch. Amazon could do the same as long as they hold 86. Apple's still working its way down to that next level. I'm going to assume Microsoft's doing the same. Nope, they're holding up pretty well. So Apple has some relative weakness today. Yeah, they're not as down as bad as Meta, AMD, and NVIDIA, but they're pretty close. Just marking the meat of the low of day. That's all I'm adding. I'm also going to add today's open. Let's see our bigger time frame chart on the smaller time frame. Yeah, all we've done is sell off under previous day close, rejected today's open and today's close or previous day close. Now we're back with a good rejection for one, but two, we have a higher low so far. So you could look at this from two perspectives. Yes, you could say this is a potential bear flag on the 5-minute, but at the same time, you have to worry about the low of day today, 382. So next move is coming out of 383.50s or under 382. 302. If we're at 302, I'd be saying bye, 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 bye. How's everyone on the stream doing so far? You guys still awake? You guys taking any trades yet? Y'all just sitting cash? You mental trading? Let me know how y'all are doing, or let me know how your current status is. See how everyone's doing. I've seen a lot of you guys take those initial shorts, and since then a lot of us have been sitting cash, but just curious to see how everyone's doing. We're with you. Love the name. Mental trading, good stuff. Just watching NVIDIA. I should probably do the same. I'm kind of switching between NVIDIA, AMD, and SPY. I like AMD and NVIDIA probably the most for upside if we do continue to hold 382 on SPY. Though this doesn't have as much effect on AMD and NVIDIA, it will still have some effect. But AMD and NVIDIA are great to watch together. But I do like those as long as we hold. Those are probably the best probability plays the upside if anything holds. 2 trades, made a whipping 23.61 and done for the day. You know me, Sack Lunch, I don't really care about the equity amount. How were the trades themselves? Did you like your entry? Did you like your exit? How was the reasoning of the trade? Just watching on the sidelines. Green for the day, would have had larger profits, but I got bear trapped in Netflix and got stopped hunted in Tesla puts. Just sitting and watching, still trying to understand when to buy. So until I get sorted, just watching and seeing how each stock moves. And yeah, take as much time as you need, Josh. And this is why I promote mental trading as much as possible. Because then you're going to be practicing, not really wasting time, as well as not really putting yourself at risk. Mental trading, good stuff, Yoel. Sitting cash / mental trading, still trading. I see no moves right now that I'm comfortable with. And good stuff, long border. It's good to be able to admit that. You know, and too many times I see people go, oh, this market's shit, whenever they're not in a play. You know, so I'm really just happy to see you say it in that manner. You sound very mature putting it like that. SPY missed that early run up, and now it's in total limbo zone, no trade. How's it going, Dave? It is a bit late on the topic, but regardless of your system, you should restart your computer before any trading session to clear the memory and ensure faster response. And I wasn't talking about for charting, I was just meaning in general, because it's not good to turn your computer on and off all the time. 0 trades, 0 hedges too, but thank you, Waleed, for that, because that is nice. Staying cash, watching SPY only, however, listening to what else is happening from comments. 23 a day with a small account, or 23 is a solid day with a small account. Mental trading, also watching Roku. I've been red for a couple of months now. I decided to reset, just watch for some time in paper trade. And honestly, Waleed, that's a beautiful message you just dropped in here, because that's a huge sign of maturity. Too many times do I see people say, I've been red for a couple months, I'm just going to keep trading until I blow my account. And it's like, what? Like, that's a losing mindset. Like, you're going to lose all that money with that mindset. So I'm very happy to see you say you're going to chill, kind of reset, give yourself some time to mental trade. and truly get back into the swing of things with reasoning, with a stable platform underneath you, instead of just continuing to trade, not really understanding what you're going for. So great work. Again, another great mature message. Really glad to see a lot of you guys on the same page.
By approaching that intraday low, see if we can break it now. It's like Amazon's helping lead the way down. XOM potentially could be having a 3-bar play on the 10-minute playing out here. The downside. So see if that breaks out.
I don't know the levels. I don't know candles. I need to study, but instead I'll just keep trading and repeating mistakes. Facts, Lee. Then a lot of people do that. They know that they need to quit trading and kind of mental trade for a while. They know that they need to study, and then they don't. And that's as far as we can help them too, Leland. If somebody continues to trade, that's on them. You know, if they end up leaving chat, that's on them. You know, it's nothing we can do about it. But this is why me, Leland, J-Bake, Devin, a lot of the guys that are leaders in my chat promote mental trading as much as you possibly can, because too many times do we see people admit that they need to study or admit that they need to mental trade more, and then they don't. So if you guys are actually going to say that, make that decision. Follow through with it. Don't down yourself because you are mental trading while watching others trade with real money. Who gives a shit, right? Who cares what they're doing? Awesome. Good for them. Be happy for them. You should not sit there in jealousy or in spite of them and sit there and continue beating yourself up. Continue to mental trade. You should not be trading every single day. You should be mental trading every single day. And I don't see enough reviews in chat. I want to see more of you posting your reviews. Circle and entry, circle and exit. Label in the message, what kind of entry is that? Label in that message, where was your stop? Where was your target? Have a mental trade going. If it takes you having to go to the options chain, writing down a contract on your entry, and then rewriting it back down when you exit, great, do that. But continue to mental trade as much as you possibly can. That is the only way to grow. There's no point in trading more does not make you better. No, the course is not part of the chat, and the chat is not part of the course. They are not linked. All my links are in the bio of the YouTube. I'm like 3rd week into day trading, just watching, listening, learning terms, but I love the process so far. Good stuff, Dirty Dan. Keep it going, man. Taking a break is really hard, but worth it. I can vouch for it. And yeah, Jack, you seem to be doing great since your recovery back. But continue to mental trade. Don't think you have to take trades because you see what others are doing. You don't follow other people's paths. Stick to your own path. Everybody learns at a different rate. Everybody learns things a little bit differently. Some people take longer than others. Take your time. Be patient. Be comfortable. Doing good, just watching trades. I have in the money from longer play trades. None taken today, just watching mental trades, plus mental quizzes on reading candle. Good stuff, E. I'm really happy to see you grinding. Yes, it's the same course. You don't like to show EMA to help you on entries and exits? I don't put them on, but I don't hate on them either. If you like EMAs, great. I really like the 30T EMA or the 9 EMA with the 21 EMA as like your secondary if you want. But if you just want one, the 9 EMA is a great single-use indicator. You can use it to help you in trends. You can use it to keep you in a trade longer. But we got this.
Bye. Just made a new low a day on the new 10-minute and 30-minute candle coming in.
Rising volume on the 5 as well. And yeah, Noxda, looks like your little 5-minute flag worked out for you. The one you were talking about. If anything, call those like mini bear flags, because a bear flag does consist of more candles, but it all is perspective, because on the 1 minute it's going to be less, it's going to be a lot more candles in on the 5 minute, so on and so on. But that was a good add-on Noxta that you had there, and it had lowering volume from candle to candle. So good job on that. You saw them break the good fibs, you saw them recover with low volume, and now you're seeing them drop lower. So good call out, Noxta. Good job, Mel. Like Devin said, Amazon leading the way for the market to move a little lower. Netflix back into the limbo zone. Microsoft back to low of day. Your XOM is still in a range. Yeah, the dollar rallying. I saw a few of you mention it right after we looked at it. Amazon just hit a 52-week low.
Buy coming down towards 381, 30 cents off.
All right, guys. Who all paid attention to my mention? I said even after this pump, if we do not hold over 380, 350s, we have to expect that we want to retest low of day, and if we break low of day, we're most likely going to go test previous day low. We have now done this to the T. Again, I'm not sitting here looking for credit for a pat on the back. I'm just simply pointing out how effective it is to plan alongside these levels. Again, we're not guessing. We're not calling out that it is going to do something. It's all conditional. If this happens, this happens. If this happens, that happens. That's all the levels are used for. Very accurate planning. So great job on anybody who's been paying attention. But right now, we should experience somewhat of a slowdown if they don't break the previous day lows. If they end up breaking previous day lows, we have to expect 380 and 378 are going to want to be tested today or going into tomorrow. So keep your eyes on those lower supports. But so far, really good TA day by the stream. Covered pretty much every move to the cent. Again, showing just how strong these levels really are. Take time to learn them. If you guys are new to the stream or new to our group, new to the community, check out the workshop number 11 video. It's the featured video on the channel. If you go to the video section, it's the third most recent video. Again, it's workshop number 11. It's a great one-stop shop video covering everything we do, from how we get our levels, how we navigate the levels, what are the types of entries and exits we look for within the levels. Everything involves that. We also have a buy the dip strategy in the playlist, or in that video, as well as the staircase method, a very awesome method to grow your account from small to a bigger account using a very, very strict and precise method. Again, that's workshop number 11. Be sure to check that video out. If you guys have been in here the past month, you're probably tired of hearing me say workshop number 11. But the only reason I haven't made another video is because that video is the video. There's no reason to make another one if I have the perfect form video already made and out. So I don't really plan on making another video on that system. That video gives you everything you need. Daffy's still going, everybody. After he posted that Tesla trade review, he was in SPY, and he has a runner up over 125%. Beautiful job, Daffy. Very happy to see you win with reasoning. This is a great video, worth a rewatch at least once a week. I have seen some people say they've watched it like 10 times, which is amazing because that's what I wanted it to be for. I don't really care about the views or any of that. It's about rewatching it over and over. Like the first few times, you probably shouldn't chart while doing it. You should just watch the video, try to understand some of the concepts, and then after a few times watching it, you should pull out your chart and try to follow alongside it. Try to find some of those examples yourself. For an emerging candle, do you need the green candle to close above the wick? What do you mean, close above the wick? Be sure to rewatch the video, Stephanie. I explain what an emerging candle is pretty in depth in that video. And all my videos, really. But I do not mark wicks for my emerging candles. I just grab the close. I don't really know what you mean by close above the wick. You just need a green close from the far left. Also, and if you go check this video out, it's very long, but it is very in-depth, and he explains literally everything. If you go to Sherman's channel right here, Jonathan Sherman, click him, and watch this video, he breaks literally everything down on AT&T, which is actually one of the harder charts to kind of get into, because it has a lot of price action. He's going back to like 08, 09, 07 to get some of his levels for 2022 going into 2023, and even breaks down different trades you could have taken on the smaller time frame. So I really would take time to view that video too. That was really cool, and that was by a member. Again, it's not by one of the owners of the chat. It's by a member of chat, somebody who has been working his ass off for months on end. You know, so you get to see the progression of one of your own as well. I mean, the wick doesn't invalidate. Again, if you watch the video, it'll make sense. I also don't want to sit here and talk about emerging candles every stream, because you guys have content for it. The streams are for people who are seasoned, ready to go. Can I ask you about your stop loss? Do you sell once the candle hits your predetermined stop loss, or you wait until the candle to close for the probability to reverse? It really depends, Waleed, and that's again why I want more people to watch the video. You're going to be in some scenarios where you want to cut towards the end of the candle before it closes, but then you're going to see other scenarios where you want to cut as it's or after it closes. It really depends on where your levels are, what positioning you're in, the risk reward of where you're at. But the levels are always where I use my stop losses. And you'll see me explain that every time I post a trade idea. Like today on Amazon, when I was talking about Amazon, I didn't say grab puts. I didn't say grab puts. I said, if you do go short, keep your stop loss at either today's open or 87.75. See how I'm using the next level above as my stop loss? I'm planning it beforehand. Yeah, this one worked out. Let's say it didn't. Let's say it closed past it. Then we'd be out of that trade. We wouldn't be shorting Amazon anymore. But we also aren't just trading Amazon by itself. You have to also remember we're using SPY to help give us that extra outside confirmation. SPY sold off at the exact same time. So we had double confirmation, not just a single. We had double confirmation that price did want to continue lower. But like you asked, let's say price went against us, right? Let's say it pushed above and then it closes. Should we still hold? No, because it's against our trade plan. And this is why forming a trade plan beforehand is the ultimate way of growing. Because if you don't, then you're just trading random thinking. You're going to go, oh, maybe I'll do this or maybe I'll do that. And then you don't do it. You know, so it's not really giving yourself that shot.
Tesla and Amazon getting beat up.
Yeah, beautiful continuation by Amazon. I was just looking at Amazon.
147.37 so far on Tesla. Spending 381 yesterday low on SPY though.
Hi Bueller, I am studying Tesla chart on the levels for today. Tesla 155.31 is based on December 14th low. 150.40 is based on the open price December 15th. Why these levels are still left out on the chart? Appreciate your clarification. What do you mean left out? They're right here. Maybe I'm reading that wrong, but they're both right there. Are you asking where they're from? Because they're not left out on the chart. They're on my chart. Thank you so much. Pretty clear, especially the double validation part with SPY. And yeah, no problem with lead. It takes time. Again, I never expect someone to ask about stop loss and then me give you one answer and then you instantly understand what I'm talking about. It takes time, and this is why I say mentally trade. You should take as many mental trades as you possibly can. Because then over time you'll start to realize, oh, okay, wow, this would pair very well as a stop loss, or this would. You'll find yourself finding different scenarios where you're picking a different stop loss. You know, most of the time you'll be choosing a level or, you know, your current day open or what, you know, whatever significant levels right there. But for the most part, you're always going to have a level near. You know, you should not ever have just a $10 range above your head, and then you're like, all right, I'm getting into puts here. I'll leave my stop loss right here. You know, you should never find yourself trading in a crazy range that's too wide for your trade. Because then when you do take your loss, you'll be taking like an 80% loss, and it's like, you know, it's not even really worth it. Well, you asked it kind of weird, Jackie. You said, why are these still left out on the chart? So it makes someone think that I deleted them from the chart. You're asking, why are they still on the chart, not left out on the chart? And yes, you are correct. Most of the time I do delete levels from previous days, but since I didn't have anything in this area here, before today, of course, I wanted to keep this level because I thought it was super significant that we had an open here and a short-term retest here, so that's why I left that one. It's just a good short-term level that I thought could remain. We don't need to remove that one. It is best to delete them and move on, but sometimes I will leave it on. I do it very rarely, though. And then you said 155.30s, which is from here. I like this one a lot because previously we had hit this as a low, and then on this same day I left this level. We kind of pushed up, held that level, and this is where the initial sell-off came from. As you can see today, that's where we also rejected from, is where we sold off from. So it's not just any other random level. It's a very strong past support that is now being used as resistance. So 155.30 is a very significant level. So I didn't delete them. No, you're correct. There's no real reasoning. It's just the fact that there's nothing else there, and the fact that they're actually super useful. They were used multiple times as support and as resistance. You can see, as I just explained, they were both used very heavily. But you're right. I normally do delete and then move on. But today, and for the last 2 days, I've been keeping those two particular levels. I did the same thing for Netflix a while back. Let me go try and find it. 30 days. It was like somewhere in here. I think it was here. I left like the same levels up for like 3 weeks, and they just kept being used. So I was like, whatever, I just want to delete them. So it's not really like a set rule I do for that. It's just kind of a conscious decision. And no, you're totally fine, man. I just didn't quite understand what you meant. But totally fine. Like I said, a conscious decision. It's not something I have like a set rule on of why you should leave this there or not. But it's a good rule of thumb to always delete your previous day levels and then move them on. Plus, just a good kind of maintenance thing. Kind of keeps you in good practice, I guess you could say. Being able to add and re-delete and then re-add. Kind of keeps you in the swing of things. That's why I tell people that. It's a good rule, too, because it has been super effective. Because you'll find yourself having too many levels when you do that. Like, let's say I left all these levels here for AMD, and then I wait for today to end, and then I go look at tomorrow, and then I add these levels again here, and I don't delete those. I'm going to have a super clustered chart. So that's why I have that rule of deleting your previous days. But sometimes you'll find yourself keeping some of them on because of not having a level there, or you like how it was used. Like right here. You know, this isn't just another level. This is the previous day open, but it hasn't really been used by much else. You know, we got to see a good short happen under it for a good first indication before breaking the new low of day here, but that was it. You know, it really wasn't used for much else. So I will probably delete that level after today. I might leave this one going into the next day because it was used very heavily as a very good support that previous day, and this was the kind of leading indication of sell-off for AMD. It'll probably be retested again today. I'm still pretty bullish on AMD as long as it holds 6370s. I'm still pretty bullish on NVIDIA as long as they hold 16130s, 16250s. Like I said, these two have really good buy the dip setups happening, and I don't even have my EMAs on. I'll show y'all a really easy way to find these. Timo. Change that to a 9, change this to a 30. So the first thing you look for when you look for a buy the dip setup, and you'll find this in the playlist, you'll find this in the course, you'll find this in a few videos I have across my channel, as well as breakdowns within the Discord itself. But you want to look for a main low to be made, like this one, where you hit the low and you repeatedly hold it. Now sometimes you get this over the course of 3 candles and you get a pop, and then you see a recovery and they touch it again and then they bounce. Some variations you get like this, where there's a lot of candles holding the same level and then they make a higher low. And this is exactly what this is doing. What you're seeing so far is the 30 TIMA is a slower EMA, and the 9 EMA is a more quick pace EMA. Think of EMAs as boats. So a lower number EMA will be like a speedboat or a jet ski. It'll be very close to the price and it'll be very quick. It's able to turn really quick, able to get out of there, able to turn very fast. Think of the 30 TIMA or bigger EMAs as like really big ships, like crate ships that take really large amounts of loads and take really long to turn and are really slow, like big rigs. Think of bigger EMAs as those bigger, slower ships. They'll not be as close to price. They don't react until more price action is given, and it's slower. So we like to use these two, and you don't have to use both of these. I'm just showing both as a good example. But you want to look for a base build, price action wise. So you have one good base here, and you have a second good base here. Then you want to see the 30 TIMA underneath price, as it is here, and you want to see rising volume cross the 9 EMA as it's pushing one of those highs. So this is just your first poke up. I always talk about the first push is the one you should never trust. It's the second one that you want to trust. This just shows, hey, buyers are present. This shows, hey, we're able to hold a higher low, so we're pretty strong here for bulls. This allows the 30 TIMA to catch up. And then they start building rising volume over the 9 EMA, giving you good entry past not just good resistance here from this past push, but if over 164, this gives you multiple indications that it does want to increase back to either today's open, which is most of the time our first target, or whatever other significant levels, which you have 165, 165.50s here. But those are two really good indicators you can put on for short-term price action. It's really good for looking for quick pops. A really cool method you can use too if you're someone who's wanting to get better at swing trading is putting on multiple EMAs and pretty much going from the 9 to the 21, the 21 to the 50, the 50 to the 100. And these gives you really good practice for how to look at price. You don't just ever want to buy randomly. You want to buy when there's good risk reward. You want to buy when there's pattern with positioning. You want to buy when there's volume coming in on a really good breakout, understanding that a retest is most likely needed afterwards. You know, so it's really kind of figuring out what kind of entry do you like. Are you an open range breakout kind of guy? Do you like scalping really quick? Then you're going to like the 40% entry. If you're a slower, kind of more of a day trader type who likes to catch those good risk reward setups, getting in, getting out over the course of whether it's 30 minutes or 3 hours, it doesn't matter to you. You're okay, you're able to be patient, then you're going to probably enjoy those 80% entries or these buy the dip entries a lot more because they take longer to set up and there's a lot more information going into it. So remember, 3 types of entries: open range breakout, retest, and the buy the dip entry. These are the only 3 we ever look out for. I have a channel dedicated to just these entries in here. If you go down to trading strategies, I have a channel dedicated to just those entries, giving you examples of not just text and picture, but I also have live trades, video links of different examples and breakdowns. So be sure to check out that channel if you have it. You only need basic to view that channel, but a lot of that information is also free on my YouTube. So again, it's about narrowing, 1, getting good at the levels, 2, understanding what types of entries happen so we can navigate these levels correctly, right? So now you have levels, you have a way of navigating, and then 3, constantly reviewing, constantly mental trading, constantly looking back at the price action, how it reacted to the levels, how it went through the levels, and that'll give you really good visualization practice moving forward, and then you'll not have any hesitation taking those trades because you understand what's possible and how things can play out. Being able to set up that trade plan just by a simple 5-second thought in your head, thinking about it for a few moments, you should be able to snap to a trade plan pretty quickly. And if you can't, then that doesn't mean you're dumb. That doesn't mean you're slow. That just means you need to take more time. You need to grasp the price action more. You need to view it more, visualize more, practice more, review. It takes time. This is why I also promote you shouldn't be looking at other people as like a progress tracker. I shouldn't be looking at Sonia or looking at Noxta and go, oh damn, I'm not doing as good as them. I'm going really slow. I'm not going really slow. They're just doing really well. They've probably practiced more than I have. They're reviewing more. They're visualizing more. I'm just not working as hard as they are, or they've been around a little bit longer. This is why you don't compare yourself to others when looking at trades. Because you're going to get a very bad misconception, and it's going to lead to more pain. Whether that's taking losses or you just quitting straight up. The staircase method, moving forward. Don't just randomly take trades. Get really good at taking that first break and taking it to the first target. Get really good at buying one contract and getting to your first target. Screw the money, screw the equity. Focus on the reasoning of why you like it, why you like to get in, why did you like to exit. I spend too much time reviewing and going through charts. There's no such thing as too much time. But you should take a break, Noxta. Don't hurt yourself. So it can definitely tire you out. And Jack, it might not even be because you're not as fast as others. They just might have been doing it longer than you. It's not even speed. If I've been practicing this for, let's say, 12 years or something, right? And you've only been in it for 2 years, is it really fair for you to look at my progress and go, wow, I'm really slow? No, it's not. That's not fair on you to say that to yourself, because that's not true.
And Wacko Jacko, I'm not saying that you're not putting in the time, but you don't know how much time somebody else is putting in. You might be putting in 4 hours a day and they're putting in 8 hours a day studying. So how much time and effort you put into the task at hand also plays how fast you're going to pick up on it. Are you only reviewing 2 trades a day, or are you reviewing 20? Do you spend Saturdays going out, or do you spend it hitting the books? You don't know how much work the other person's putting in also.
Slowly compounding, we'll see lots of gains, not having to hit 20 to 40% every trade. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. Off to work out. See you later. See you later, Caleb. Be safe, man. Thank you, Bueller. I am in that situation where I compare and I felt I am slow, but I will take your advice and you should remove all the noise. It's really good for you. It'll make you'll feel healthier after a few weeks of time of not paying attention to as many people, to not paying attention to as many sources, giving yourself less noise. Stop comparing yourself. It's a great way of kind of just moving forward. It's mature. You should never, ever compare yourself. Compare yourself to yourself, if anything. How were you 6 months ago to now? What is your goal for looking forward 6 months from now? Are you going to still just be sitting in the same seat? Or are you going to be continuously mental trading? Think about how much mental trading and how much practice could instill into you after 6 months more time. You'll be in a way better place 6 months from now.
I don't know where everyone gets the idea that everyone picks up the stock market in 3-6 months. Most of these people you see as successful have been trading for years. There's very, very few people that have great success even in the first year of trading. So I don't know where everyone gets the idea or who's selling the idea that you can do this in a month or two. It takes consistency over a period of time. It's a marathon.
Facts. Years of time.
I see way too many people thinking that this can be done in 2-3 months. It's not the case. Not that you can't do well and make good trades as a beginner, but it's not. You shouldn't expect to be out here hitting 100% gains and balling out every day. XOM's still just bouncing around in its range, coming back up to the top side of it. Can't really break out.
Well, Apple's finally at a level now, so we could see some basing finally occur on Apple here. 131.50s area. NVIDIA for the next move up needs to break 164s. AMD needs to break 64.50. Netflix finally testing 288 again. Let's see if this is the break everybody was wanting this morning. Meta might be rejecting 116s for a final push down toward 115. Not a huge risk reward there, but good setup. And I'm not joking, guys. Take the initiative. Go into the Discord. Post a chart. Post your reasoning behind it. Mental trade. Circle an entry, circle an exit. Discuss. Where would my stop loss be? Where would your target be? What do you like about it? What do you not like? Find anything to say about it. Gold creation. Here's some awesome way to answer your question. These are the top weights of SPY, just by single equities themselves, the single stocks. These are the sectors that take them up. So this is the tech sector, XLK, that I talk to you guys about almost every single day. Healthcare, the second largest. Financials, third, which normally they're fifth. They've been retaking over discretionary and comms. Industrials have actually overtaken comms. So these are all the sectors of SPY and how much it weighs of SPY. And then here's the stocks of SPY. Oh, I messed it up. There we go. Here's the stocks of SPY that weigh the most. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Berkby, Google with the L, UNH, Goog, J&J, XOM, NVIDIA, so on and so on. But these are all the weights that make up SPY. So, and this is why we call Apple the king and Microsoft the queen, because they're not just the top by a little. They're the top by over double what the next weight is. If you times that by 2, that's only 4.8%. The next weight's 5.6%. So you can see why Apple and Microsoft are always our top two watches, because they aren't just the top weights by a little. They're the top weights by a lot. So that's why we look at them so much. But gold creation, these are all the weights of SPY. So I would handpick a few of those. A lot of us mainly watch Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. I have Berkby on the list. I just kind of check it here and there. I don't trade it. Google, of course. UNH, that's a healthcare ticker that we sometimes talk about, but I don't look at too heavily. But these are the majority of what we look at for just short-term movement. Everything, though, has some effect on SPY. So let's say Tesla was to gap down $100. That will bring SPY down, even if the other ones aren't going down, just because Tesla is 1.2% of SPY. So it's a couple that you can look at. But the main ones we look at are Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. You could look at Meta, you could look at NVIDIA, you could look at Tesla, but they aren't as heavy as those. That's why we mainly focus on those three. You'll always see me cover at least the top 3 weights. But also, this is where a lot of people get, that misconception that, oh, well, if Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft are all dropping, that means SPY has to be dropping, right? False. We've seen many times where healthcare and even side sectors like the defensive sectors, utilities, industrial staples, we've seen a combination of these pick up. And this year, actually, you actually witnessed the energy sector carry SPY, which is very rare. Only during an energy crisis will you see that. So that was kind of cool. And this is kind of tying back to my point I made on Friday or Thursday, whatever day it was we were ranting on it. But it's not just about winning or losing in this market. It's also about learning. There's so much opportunity in this market to learn different things. It's crazy. This is a once in a lifetime market. There has never been a single stock market era just like this. This is a one of one. There's never been anything like this where we go from COVID into an energy crisis into a global economy recession that quick. That was very quick. Us getting that rally, just these past 2 months into the 412s, that was crazy. We have never seen a market like this. So it's not just about winning and losing. It's also just kind of taking away what we've been seeing lately. Yes, there's been multiple recessions. Yes, the global economy has been in a recession before, but not in this exact way.
Could be losing 381 here on the market. Coming down to test. Tesla moving lower, 146.94. Microsoft testing 240. You're gonna lose this level here. So line coming in on the short-term time frame.
Damn, very sorry to hear that, Josh, again. And to you, Steve.
And 381 on SPY. Cracking 240 on Microsoft.
See you later, JBEC. Have a great rest of your day, man.
Five-minute candle is about to finish up as it's waking back up. See how that finishes up.
Good job, Jack, on your trade review. Thank you for posting your paper trade. Taking the initiative. Oh, I just saw this, Knoxdale. My bad. He said 65% and 100% on SPY puts. Average 82.5% on the whole position. Beautiful job. Let's go see what he's got going here. So, entered 2 contracts off of lowering volume rejection off of today's open. Once the next red candle broke the low of the rejecting candle. So very nice. So he saw it reject, he saw it pull down and close under a good level at a good spot, today's open. Held through this mini bear flag, which he called out in the YouTube chat, great work, under the 9 EMA and lowering volume, out one at 65% at current low of day. When he hit that, well, perfect job, Knoxta. Again, taking the initiative, leading by example. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Too many times I see people buy up here, and they hope to break the new low of day and hold through it. If you have one contract, never do this. You should always sell at the low of day, just like Knoxta did at his first contract. So if you have just one contract, you have to sell here. You can't assume that it's going to make the new low. You have to sell here. There's no give or take on that. So beautiful job, Knoxta, leading by example, taking the initiative to sell at the low of day, knowing that you have more than one contract. You can sell one here and try to get your second one to a further target. And that's exactly what he did. He got out of his second contract at 100% as price was nearing the yesterday low. It also hit yesterday's meat of the low to the T. Great work. Beautiful trade review. Hold up, let's find a trade to delete. I'll delete one of my old ones or something. I want to pin that one. That's beautiful. Noxda, you deserve it, man. Alright, who's getting deleted? It's either me or username, because username has a ton in here. Looks like I already deleted all my old ones. Alright, I'm going to delete Devo's old message. And then I'm going to pin this one. Because I can't pin any more than that's why I'm having to delete one. So sorry to Devo's message. That was the oldest pin we had. But Noxta, beautiful job, man. I'm not joking. That was worth pinning. Because it's the staircase method to the T. SPY 380 is a huge pivot point. Good call out, Raul. As I posted as well, and that's why I left this very large description here. I might leave like all of this the whole week. I might leave this all up. Because you're right, 380 is a huge pivot point. There's like a range between 378, 380, 50, and where price can have a really good drop, have a really good bounce, and that's exactly what we're sitting right on top of. Again, if you go back out to the bigger time frame, you can see we're right there again, literally right on that support. So this is where we can look for short-term bounces that, again, can only be considered as short-term reversal. You can't consider them to be something that's going to take us back to 410 yet until we get more information here, see more candlesticks holding the same support, or we're going to get a little bit of a dip below. So I have to pay attention to that as well. Yo, good stuff, 197 long border. Very happy to see you doing well in the bear flag. Great work, man. 17% is something to not joke about. 17% is huge. Too many times do I see other groups or other traders tell their members, hey, if you're not making 50%, you're not even making a good trade. That's bullshit. 17% is a beautiful amount. Think about it as this. You've almost made a fifth of what you put at risk. That's amazing. What more could you ask for, right? Great work, man. And yeah, have a good day, J-Bake. Sorry I didn't see that till it was too late.
I'm moving lower on this next 10-minute candle. Meta's approaching its intraday low. Microsoft still moving lower with Amazon. XOM's coming back down to the bottom side of its range. Still hasn't broke out.
Yeah, 15% is amazing, Yoel. I just always like to put that message out because I do see a lot of people that initially join in here and they're like, oh, I only made 20%. It's like, what are you saying only for? Only 20%? Like, what are you talking about? That's amazing. Same thing with 15%. You got to think about it as like you're almost making a sixth of what you put at risk. I mean, that's amazing. Again, 5 to 10%. You know, I think too many people think that's small. 5 to 10% is actually amazing. That's more of a median, more of a kind of starting point. You know, if you're making 5 to 10% a trade, you're killing it. You're doing great. But yeah, I always love to push that message because I do see a lot of newcomers that join in here and they down themselves for only making 5 or 10%. It's like, why are you downing yourself? That's an amazing percentage. And then they'll be like, oh, well, my past group was like, oh, that's crap. You know, that's not good at all. What are you talking about? Whoever told you that doesn't know what they're talking about. Just caught Tesla 10% put 135 Friday expiration. It was trading sideways, so just waited for a break of 147.50s with a level stop a little above 147.50s. Good stuff, Josh. Round of applause for Josh H. Moon. Don't do math, man. It'll hurt people's head. Yeah, I hate Robinhood. Their clearinghouses are scams. There is no such thing as a best broker for options. There's a few brokers that are really good for options, but Robinhood is definitely not one of them. So I can see why you're getting pissed off at them, Giovanni. I would look around. Interactive Brokers is pretty good. E-Trade is really good. Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade is really good. And there's, of course, a few more than that. People like Webull as well. So it's really kind of your personal preference, Giovanni. I would take time to review a few of them. Exactly, think big picture. That is huge. It could be minus 5%. So I'll take positive percent all day. And I mean, even losing just 5% isn't even the worst. You know, you really shouldn't be aiming to lose 50% on each trade. Anytime you cut your trade, you really should. And that's the thing about risk reward. You shouldn't be putting more than 10% of your account in any single trade, because if you do lose 5%, well, if you, let's say you went in full port, well, now you're losing 5% of your entire portfolio. Let's say you only use 10% of your account and you lost 5%. Well, now you're only losing 5% of that 10% of your entire portfolio. You're losing a very small portion while still being able to put it at risk. And that's why I say start off with mental trading, so you can mental trade as much as possible. And then when you do finally get to the point of taking those real trades, you understand what you're going for and what you're comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with. He must have known I was in Tesla shares. That's always a bear signal. What is your experience with the best fill? I've only ever used TD Ameritrade. I used a little bit of Webull and a little bit of Robinhood in the past, and I didn't really like either of them. But that was when I used Webull when it was very young, so it's probably a lot better now. But I've pretty much only used TD Ameritrade, and I've had amazing fills the entire time. Nothing to complain about. I think my favorite part about TD Ameritrade is that you can actually message them anytime during the day. They have a 24-hour support you can message them on, and they reply pretty quickly. They try to help as much as they can. You can even fight to get your fills lower. Like normally when you start trading options, your options fees are normally 65 cents out. But if you negotiate or say, hey, I've been using your platform for a while, they can lower it to 50 cents per contract in out. So... But the fills have always been amazing. You shouldn't have any problem with fills on Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade. But that's my main thing, is that I love that I can reach out to somebody and have a real human being answer me. It's not an automated response. It's a real person typing back to you. So I think that's why I like them so much, is that I'm able to discuss problems or fix things very quickly. If you ever have a problem with TOS and you message them, it's either almost that day or the next day that your problem is fixed. But every broker has their small issues here and there. Everybody has, outages and stuff like that, updates. Thinkorswim has gotten a lot better though with when they do their updates. They used to do updates literally during the day, during the market. Now a lot of their updates happen on the weekend or at a very late time during the night when a lot of us aren't on. So that's another good thing they've picked up ever since, who is it, Goldman or whoever that picked them up? Goldman or Morgan, whoever picked them up. They don't plan on changing anything with the platform either, so that's a good thing. So that's probably why I like them so much. Plus, I've literally never had a problem with getting filled. If you ever have a problem with getting filled, it's because the chart's moving. Or Schwab, my bad, I was off 2 times, Moon. Thank you for helping me out there. But like, let's say the price is moving too quick and you're clicking a limit order. Well, there's a chance you're going to miss that entry because you're clicking a limit order and the price is moving very rapidly. Whereas buying at a more stable breakout with a limit order, or buying the market order where you are going to experience a little bit of slippage. So it's also about how you enter. I've seen too many people complain about their entries and then they show me that they've been using just limit orders on like scalps. Like if you're scalping, you should probably be going for a market order or limiting before it happens, or limiting after your confirmation, which you will have to pay a little bit more, but at least you have a stable entry with your limit order instead of just buying a market order and hoping it does something. So it's also about what market order are you using or how are you entering your trade. I've seen a lot of people though misconcept that with entry types. They take a limit order or a market order and then they complain about it, not understanding what that actually means. It's all about convenience. A market order will shove you into the trade at whatever price when you're clicking it, right? And you definitely should be trying to buy the bid high. And with a limit order, you're not going to get in as quick. I thought you meant to say shouldn't, Leland. I thought you were, shouldn't be trying to buy the bid. No, you're 100% correct. Because it's the best price, people are going to see it and think, oh, I want that. But you're not going to get that because if the price starts moving, then it costs more and then you miss your fill. With the market order, you have a little bit of slippage on it, so it's all about how you understand your orders as well. Personally, for any swings, you should just do a limit order because at the end of the day, you shouldn't have to worry about, it moving too much on you. You're just worried about getting in. When you're doing a limit order too, you have the option of buying in between the bid and the ask. You don't have to buy right at the bid. You don't have to buy right at the ask. You can buy in the middle where a lot of market makers won't screw you. If you're trying to buy the most cheap part of that bid ask spread, there's a chance that they're not going to let you in because they can block that. They can scalp all the orders before you and vice versa. I buy at the ask when trading a breakout and want to get more aggressive and join the bid when I want to get the best fill. And there you go. See, Raul, you have a system. This is what I'm talking about, developing a system. Like, which one do you like more? What style of trading are you doing? There's not a single correct answer for every question regarding these orders. No, yeah, Giovanni, like I was saying, their clearinghouses are scams. I personally had to fight the IRS because of Robinhood. I beat the IRS because of Robinhood's stupidity. Another thing, too, is that, now they do it now, but 3 years ago, they did not give you end-of-year quotes. Like, you couldn't go back and look at what I traded, how much I traded, and how much I lost or made. There was no way of looking this up from a document perspective. You couldn't just download your documents, send it off to your tax guy, and you're good. There was actually a problem with that. And they also didn't calculate, what was it? I can't think of the term, but there was something they didn't calculate, and it was really stupid. And I was flabbergasted. I was lost. I was mentally concerned that Robinhood is even a legit brokerage. But I hate Robinhood. I push everybody away from Robinhood as much as I can. I cannot express to you guys how much pain they put me through to get to this point. It is insanity. I ended up beating the IRS, but I still lost money because I had to pay a lawyer. It's insane. the amount of pain that those people put you through. Wash sales, that's what it was. Thank you, Sand Dollar. They didn't calculate my wash sales. The IRS said I owed like $36,000, which I didn't. And then I ended up having to fight them, and they even said, oh, well, we updated this for wash sales and this and that. And the IRS was basically telling me I wasn't calculating it right when I didn't calculate it at all. This is supposed to be from Robinhood. So I had to re-put down each of my entry and exits during 2018. I had to re-put into a log everything I did. So I had to go back to like years of trades that happened a long time ago, put down each one log by log, layer by layer, and I had to place it all myself 3 separate times just to show the IRS I wasn't lying to them, that it was Robinhood stupidity. And guess who gets fined? Me. You know, we get fines, and when you beat them, you still owe money to your lawyer. So it's a loss situation compared to them actually going after Robinhood and getting onto them over what they've done. Because I'm not the only person they did that to. There's thousands of traders that went through that exact same process. But that's why I hate Robinhood so much. There's a legit reason. Robinhood is the worst brokerage out there. Their clearinghouses are scams. They do not give you the right fills, and they do charge you per fill. I don't care what people say. If you calculate your account and you watch yourself as you take, let's say, 20, 30 trades, you'll notice you're spending more money than your fills are going for. You're not just losing money to fees. You're losing money to hidden fees. Robinhood is horrible. Yeah, wash sales can be a pain in the ass. Webull, I don't know, Dev. I can't sit here and hate on Webull. They have updated a lot. They've gotten a lot better, but I'm not 100% sure. I didn't trade on their platform as much as I did Robinhood. But ever since then, it's been Thinkorswim only, and I've had 0 issues. They give me everything I need, every document. They even have a section on the TD Ameritrade website of where you can go for these documents, going back to whatever year you started. There's no issues getting anything. I don't even have to email somebody to get that information. Whereas Robinhood, you had to email people. Which I think they have a section for it now, but they didn't. So that's why I say steer clear of Robinhood. Very scary, too, dealing with the IRS, because you start thinking the worst. I have seen people enjoy Webull, though. It hasn't been as bad as other brokerages, per se. Alright, guys, Apple got a good bounce. The king of the markets wanted to show its face here. Let's see if other sectors start to pick up. I see Nvidia and AMD are still holding relatively well, so I would still look for those for a buy the dip. If you want to keep stop losses near low of day or at a better support that's higher up, be my guest. But Nvidia and AMD look pretty good as long as Apple and SPY continue to hold their supports. Be very careful, though, because SPY has only popped up with lowering volume, and it's against resistance still. It hasn't really retaken anything. So be very, very careful here. It needs to continue holding 381. Use TOS and E-Trade. I've actually wanted to make an E-Trade account, but I haven't. I've heard so many good things about E-Trade and Interactive Broker. My friend Seth said you're amazing. Well, I appreciate your friend Seth King Kobina. King Kobina. Let's change the pace here. Alright, let's watch Daffy's video. I didn't get to watch it yet, and it's only 4 minutes, so it's not the end of the world. Let me pause this. I like putting Daffy on blast. Damn, some of you already beat me here.
Daffy here from Bueller Buys Group. Just wanted to do a quick trade review on my Tesla. It was a very nice play on Friday.
Let me know how the volume is, stream.
I grabbed the first contract for 20% and the second contract for 125%. So a quick recap what happened, right? Tesla opens, go test the 160.93 level, previous day high, rejects that level, and then we have the previous day close and the daily pivot.
Before I let him continue, really good job, Daffy, by the way, labeling out loud for your video and for yourself, what are these levels? What are we looking at? That's the first step of breaking down your review, all that good stuff, is labeling what are we even looking at? You know, let us know, give us some context,
First
and that's what he's doing.
As Bueller says, we do not trade, so I'm waiting, right, to see Tesla if he's gonna form any direction, weak points, or if he's gonna see any, if he's gonna break any structure. Um, so what I have been noticing, right, and we have been on the live stream. Bueller was on it for good 15, 20 minutes in this area right here, and this is where I notice a pattern. I see this candle right here, then it's forming these three green candles on the 5 minutes, like a bear flag. But still, we're still in some sort of fashion of range when I saw this red candle right here at 9:55. We're still in range. I'm waiting for. I want to see candle far away from this range or breaking this range. So this candle right here at not at 10 o'clock, um, we have the beginning of um, break structure.
I'm gonna pause it. So he started off by labeling what's the levels, gave us context on what we're looking at. We don't trade the first 10 minutes, so he's establishing, hey, I'm not going to touch this. I'm going to wait to see what else forms here. And he sees over the next 20 minutes that we end up forming a range between where we went up and rejected and where we made our low of day before this continuation, of course. And he's just kind of establishing a potential trade plan, saying, all right, if this breaks, I can start to look for potential shorts. If we end up breaking to the upside, I can look towards today's open and possibly 161 for his Tesla trade.
So what I like to do, I like for the confirmation. So I would wait for the next candle to open, because how many times we saw a candle that opens and goes back in to the range area. So this candle opens. I'm waiting for the first 3 minutes. I want to see, okay, we are not going to have any pullbacks. I'm monitoring the volume. So at 10:03, this is where I have on my Webull when I enter my two contracts for puts for 146.67, 0 DTs. Um, I enter here on this candle and I have obviously my stop loss. This is where my scenario kicks in, my plan, right? So my plan is, okay, where's my stop loss? My stop loss will be if
give
we
us that
have the
plan.
next 5-minute candle goes back in to that range. Um, we didn't have that, so at 10:07, I cut my first contract for 20% gain, and then
All right, so he sees his target is here, and though it was only a smaller move, he took 20% on his first contract, giving himself a little bit more leeway to possibly take a second contract farther, or if it even recovers back up and then comes back down, he could take that contract again.
leaving a runner. The reason I left a runner is because Tesla was very close to the previous day low. I wanted to see a test, and maybe again we have maybe it's gonna bounce back up, or it's gonna reject and goes below. And again, even for my second contract, I have an exit plan, a tighter stop loss. I was aiming for a maybe 5% gain, or break even. We didn't have that. Tesla, the next candle, right here with a nice volume, breaking the previous day low. I'm holding. I'm holding through here. I was happy with the gains. Anything like 100%, I'm pretty sure everybody will be happy. So I was like, you know what? Um, Let it be. Uh, and I close it on this candle. I exited at 10:30 according to my timestamp for 125%. So total gain 145% on Tesla. Um, Levels play out. Trust yourself. Trust the levels. Follow Bueller Buys Group for more. Thank you and have a
Oh,
good
that's the end. Well, beautiful job, Daffy. I really like how you went through that, and you did it all in 4 minutes. That's impressive. Being able to give context on what you're looking at, kind of the thought process of not just your trade, but the story of the chart, giving us context on the chart, and then also telling the story of it from stage one, from open, all the way to, way down here past after your trade's done. So really good job breaking that down. Also on your entry and exit, beautiful job. I saw you also had rising volume as you got into your trade after it breaking that support again, so that was very nice to see. And also huge
really recognition, credit to his patience, you know, being able to sit here for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 minutes before getting into a trade in that 40-minute candle. So beautiful, beautiful job, Daffy. I'm going to drop a comment on that. Great job, though, Daffy. Seriously, amazing job. And there is one more video I wanted to show a clip of from Sherman's latest video. Is it like 20 minutes? 20, 30 is what I was looking at. It's kind of in here.
To get a high over it, but the open is.
So he literally, this is insane, by the way, how in-depth and organized this video is. I can tell he worked his ass off on this one. But he covers, basically, I'll start from the beginning, but he covers this huge list of things he's going to cover. Duke bot trades, different trades he took, time frames, intro, all this. He organized everything super well. But it's at like 20:30. But he starts charting out like all these different charts and he shows you how we're getting our levels. And then he starts breaking down.
To Discord and review it through the educational section and the educational server. There are very fine examples.
But look how much information's on here. He has all the levels on here. He talks about what types of entries are here, the different TA, different levels of volume. I mean, he goes through literally. This is almost like a workshop video on its own.
And again, with this trade, we're not gonna. We have a couple of exits there that you should be taking if you enter on this. Here is the first target. My first target is the high of day. That's the first target. If you're in one contract, you should really just be taking it here, all the way up to here, and that's it. Take profits.
Staircase
if you're
method.
In more than one, you could take your initial exits here, and take it all the way up to the previous day low. You're not really going to take the first. If you're in one contract, you really shouldn't be taking it all the way up here. That's not what you do. You take your profits, scale out gradually. You can even take a midpoint in between all this. Let's say
that was what I wanted to show, was the staircase method. That was a beautiful breakdown he did. That was probably my favorite part of the video, because I can almost hear myself in that video. But no more replays of videos, guys. I just wanted to show y'all that, because I thought both of those were really good. But again, like I said, I would check out some of the recent videos on the channels that I have added onto my channel. There's a bunch of really cool guys from my chat in there, posting their own content, posting basically what I post, but with their own perspective. So it's really nice to kind of hear from their point of view. Seeing a bit of a reiteration on different things. We saw Sherman talk about the staircase method. You saw Daffy talk about the entry-exit plan. You know, it's just so much to look at. It honestly just makes me beyond proud to be amongst you guys, because it shows that you guys are amazing leaders. You guys are no different than me. You know, you guys are leaders, going through your own content, going through your own levels, reviewing it left to right, telling the story of the price action, giving us context on everything. And it really does help out understanding. It helps out people who are new to this, people who are not new to this. You know, it doesn't matter how many years in trading you have. Those videos are amazing. But thank you guys for going through those with me. That was a cool breakdown. And make sure to support their channels if you can. Subscribe, drop some likes, whatever, comments. Some super cool guys I have in our group. Makes me proud making you proud. But again, you know, how many communities do you know of that have multiple members posting videos of what they're doing? There isn't. I have never seen a group do that before, where multiple members within the group are posting videos, breaking down what they like about it. It's crazy. It's amazing. Lost for words when I see that stuff. SPY trying its best to try and retake the 381s. Like I said, this will help out AMD, Nvidia. I think Tesla was what we were looking at. No, not Tesla. Oh, it was Microsoft, not Tesla. Netflix finally broke that 288 and went all the way down to 286s. Got a little bit of a bounce and they're back to square one again. A little bit of a late drop for them, but they finally did it. And thank you guys for over 100, almost 130 likes on the stream. I really do appreciate that. Huge amount of support for the streams each day. Like I said, regardless of 10 people or 10,000 people being in here, we're going to continue to stream, continue to grind, continue to go through lessons each day, continue discussing different topics, but again, kind of staying within our realm, not really stepping outside of it. There's no point in trying to learn 1,000 things at once. You should be focused on the same routine, same system every single week. Trying to better yourself within that system, through that routine. Setting up your levels, reviewing them, reading the story left to right on the chart, being able to circle entries and exits that make sense to us based on the 3 types of trades we'd like to limit ourselves to. So I want to see more of you after this week's streams, and after today, really. I want to see a lot of you posting more trade reviews on mental trades. I want to see a lot more of you breaking down where you're getting your levels from, discussing the context of the chart, not just saying, oh, we broke here and I made 20%. I want to see more context than that. I want to see more breakdown than that. My bad, Noxta. I just saw what you said in chat. Would you say PFE is forming a big-ass bear flag right now intraday? I'm in short swings from Friday and opened some more today. Seems like it to me, but want to check. Just quickly looking at this, it does represent that. But let me go out to a bigger time frame, like the 30-minute. Maybe. You might even see it extend more, Noxta. You might not see it just stop here. You might actually see it go up to 52s as well. But this does look good for continued downward movement. I think the thing that gets me is that they're at that previous resistance using this candle. So you might get a short pop, like I said, to 52s. But as long as it maintains under 52s, yes, it does look like it has a chance of breaking the 51s and maybe even reaching 50 flat. Some old levels I have. But I'd say the thing that concerns me is this level. It's kind of stuck between here. Without even going to the far left of the chart. But like you said, on the intraday chart, it does look like that. Because you kind of have that same angle going up. Here's your previous day close. Kind of have that angle going like this. Similar to how a bear flag would react. And there's very low volume. I mean, I'm having to pull this up to see the volume. So very low volume. In case he's not in stream, let me send this to him.
It's flirting with the 381.50 level as this 10-minute candle is about to finish up. See how that finishes around this level.
Apple got a pretty good bounce. Netflix rejecting 288. Microsoft also slowing down from their little bounce. I still like AMD a lot for a buy the dip. Same for Nvidia.
Retesting this 381.50 area to try to get some more bulls coming in. If that's the case, Tesla getting back up over 147. Still impressed with XOM. It hasn't really broke out of its range today. It's still just holding around 105. So we're looking for that to break out of the 105 still.
Alright guys, well, it's been about 3.5 hours. I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream there. But I'm going to go over to SPY, bigger and smaller time frame one more time, just for everybody to have a good recap to end the stream. So today, we're looking outside of the 386.60s and 383.20s for potential pushes. We didn't get any kind of push to the upside from open. We just had a good drop to initially give us that kind of, move to the downside. We got a retest of today's open. We ended up rejecting it. We had a really good rising volume push at the downside. They ended up slowing down. We got a push back into the known resistance at today's open, and then we got another good rising volume rejection from that all the way back down to not just that low, but to make a new low of day near those 381s that we have marked from the bigger time frames. So we ended up going straight to the previous day lows again, where we can look for more continuation down under 380, 381s. But you have to also remember the bigger time frame chart. We have the 378 into 380.50s range sitting right here, where we basically made our low of day. My level's off by 5 cents. So we have to kind of pay attention to that going into the rest of the day, as well as tomorrow. Are we going to keep getting bounces from here, or are they going to want to finally push through that? So that's kind of the big key level to watch right now, is 380, 378 for downside action, as well as potential basing for bounces. But also on the bigger time frame, you can see it's very apparent to see. Let me delete some of the smaller time frame levels real quick so we can see it a little easier. You can see a huge area here from not just a historical level, but also from where we had past resistance turned support, where we ended up rallying into. This is the key area we're having to watch for a potential bounce. And like I said, this morning, it's not always about getting a big red day or a big green day. You're sometimes going to have these sideways days that trade inside of the previous day range on top of these important key areas. So this is why I was very adamant about telling you guys to trade very light or watch for a potential just kind of slower range type day. And that's exactly what we've gotten so far. It's been a little over 2.5 hours since market open, and we still have not gotten any move outside of that range for the most part. We're still just testing the previous day low, getting short-term bounces, and not getting really any good upside action just yet. So over the next few days, we're going to watch to see, are we going to get a bounce from 378, 380s, or are we going to get us to fall through that? Again, a third scenario is us just trading between 385 and 380 the entire week. So we have to pay attention to this. We are also experiencing very low volume today. So this is a few things we'll have to look out for, but this is the key area to look out for. It makes it very easy for us for the rest of the week. I am going to leave all of this information up for the bigger time frame going in through the rest of this week. Really, you'll probably see this still posted. So if you want notes on that, and I'll have it up again tomorrow's stream. It's also posted in the Discord, where I post on my main channel each week, as well as on the streams each day. So I will see you guys later on. I'll post the links up in the channels right now for all of the streams, today's stream, all that good stuff. I appreciate everybody's hard work, engagement, interaction, adding in your own updates, adding in your own 2 cents. This is exactly what this is for. It's an open forum for all of us to work together. So I really appreciate that. And I'll see you guys later on. Have a great rest of your day. And check out the Discord if you want to still engage a little bit more during the day. But I'll see y'all later on. Have a great rest of your day.